All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another live stream for this week. Maybe, could be, possibly. Let's see. Just let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Was just gonna see what's up, see how you guys are doing. So, let's see if we can get anybody to join here. See if it's working. So we've got, oh, there we go. We got Chris. All right, good. We're live. It seems like it's working mostly. So that's good. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know there, Chris. Yeah, so we've got the Walking Dead season 11, part 1 finale tonight for regular AMC viewers. Those of us with AMC Plus have already seen it a week ago, so that's good. And then we have Fear the Walking Dead season 7 premiering tonight for AMC Plus, or today, basically. It's already online. You can watch it, or on streaming. You can watch it. So, yeah, thanks, Tim. Do appreciate it. And what's up, R. Paraz? How you doing, man? And thanks for the verification there. That sounds good. Thanks, Dan. How you doing? We got Mika, Hurd, and we got Dory Nichols. Doing good. So, yeah, so Fear is premiering tonight. With on AMC Plus with its season 7 premiere. I've gone through it real quick, but I haven't done a full review for it yet. I haven't watched the episode all the way through yet, the season premiere. It's called, what is it called? The Beacon. Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead season 7, episode 1 is called The Beacon. So it's, I think it's a Strand episode mostly. I'll keep it spoiler, free because it's just premiered today, and I take it most people haven't seen it yet. I think that World Beyond season 2's third episode is up now. I haven't actually seen the second episode yet for World Beyond, mostly because I've kind of gone through it, but I'm trying to watch it, all the way through so I can do a review for the second episode. And it's been like a week I've been trying to do this, and I have not been able to do it because it sucks. Elvis Ibrahimovic says that Fear the Walking Dead season 7 episode 1 was very good. Yeah, it looks good. So I'm excited to watch it all the way through. Tim Simmons says he just finished watching it. It's a Strand episode, right? From the looks of things. So it looks like with Fear the Walking Dead season 7, they're kind of doing the episodes where they kind of have a focus character for each episode. Again, something like that. I think this is the first season I'm able to watch streaming early. I think it is since now I can get the AMC Plus via Amazon, so that's good. So yeah, Dan Smith said I was a little confused about Fear. I thought Alicia was trapped in the bunker by herself, but that Will guy knew her. What's going on there? So, well, she would have been in the bunker for a little while, but maybe after that, But I don't think she's in the premiere episode. At least I didn't notice. So I'll watch it all the way through. We'll do a full review maybe later tonight or this week for Fear the Walking Dead season 7 premiere. Hey, 121A, how you doing, man? Yeah, so that's good. Dirty Dan said, did you watch the Resident Evil trailer, Trev? I haven't seen the Resident Evil trailer. Is it a new movie they're doing, or do you mean a game trailer? I don't keep up with all the different Res Evil games. So if that's what you're referring to, I'm not quite caught up with all the different Resident Evil games. But is it a movie? And who's starring in it if it's a movie? Hey Josh, how you doing, man? How was your week? Let's see here. So I do have some few things. So we've got so Walking Dead season 11 part 1 finale tonight for regular. We saw it. Most of us saw it last week. Really good one. Getting ready for part 2. They have released a trailer now for the second part 2 of The Walking Dead Season 11. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer yet for Walking Dead Season 11 Part 2, I did kind of a breakdown video on it on Saturday in the channel. I think it was Friday or Saturday. One of the two I posted. Maybe it was Friday. And so we kind of go through all the different little clips and parts of it. Basically, it looks like Daryl and the others are going to meet the Commonwealth, so that's going to be really cool to see. Possibly join them somewhat or something like this. There's a part with, I use for the thumbnail here of this video, where you have Daryl, Rosita, and the others, and you have Mercer there. So that's cool to see that they're maybe possibly joining their military section or something, or they're at least meeting with them and getting to know each other. So that's good stuff. Eugene in there as well, too. So that's going to return February 20th, I believe. So it's, and then maybe a week early. February 13th on AMC Plus is the date. So that's coming up, but it'll be a little bit of a wait until then. So, but we will have the 8 episodes for Fear the Walking Dead to review starting now. So we'll do those reviews, and those, I think we should be able to do reviews for every episode. World Beyond, I'm kind of like, I'm really struggling on because, you know, I watched the first episode. We did the review for that. It was okay. And then once we got to the second episode for World Beyond, I was like, this is just, this is not, I don't know, man. I don't think it's good enough to review every episode week to week. I'm not sure. At least I'm not feeling motivated enough to go and actually, watch it every week. But have any of you guys seen the third episode yet for World Beyond? And if you have, was it any good? Hey, yeah, Josh, yeah. I got that. I got your comment there about the V, yeah. So let's see. Dirty Dance's reboot to the movie. Welcome to Raccoon City. Oh, that's cool. So who's starring in it there? Dirty Dan for Resident Evil. I have not seen the trailer yet. I'll have to check it out later on tonight. What's up next? How you doing, man? And Elvis says, I think that Commonwealth will save them from the Reapers. But our good guys, as usual, will find something bad in that too. I don't know. Maybe the Walking Dead main group is the problem. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. The Reapers only have like six fighters left, including Leah, right? So, or something like that. They have less than 10. So I don't think that the Reapers in the second part of this season, even though Carver and the others might want some revenge against Daryl, and they will likely want that, I don't think that they're prepared to face Alexandria just based on numbers and based on what they have. Because if you look at the Reapers, you have Leah, you have Carver, and you have, others that are pretty much unnamed, and then up to like 6 to 10 or something, right? And then if you look at the survivors of Alexandria, you have Daryl, you have Negan, you have Maggie. You have, even Lydia, who's useful with whisperer tactics and such, even though she's young. You have Judith. You have Aaron. You have Gabriel. You have Jerry, and lots of others, right? Scott and all the others that are not, like at the forefront to see all the time. So they have tons and tons of people. So even though, and Rosita back there as well too. So you have quite a few. So I don't think that the Reapers really have much of a chance against all of Alexandria, even though their numbers are not as big as they once were. The Reapers are so hopelessly outnumbered, I think, and you have Daryl and some of the others there too that are so battle-hardened that maybe the best fighter that the Reapers have might be Leah or maybe Carver, one of those two. As named characters. So I don't think that they're going to be able to face Alexandria. I don't think they're going to be able to face all the different survivors that are there, including, because Daryl might be able to beat them all by himself, except Leah. He probably wouldn't be able to kill Leah, right? But he could probably kill all the others, like 6-on-1, 5-on-1. Daryl will probably beat them all. So just by himself, right? So yeah, I don't see. Thanks, Prometheus. I like your Prometheus Jab 23. I like your name. It's funny. Yeah, I am a clone. The real Trev is, yeah, okay, nice. All right. Tim Simmons says, seen the third episode of World Beyond. They are all blah, but getting info on the way the CRM are. Oh, right, yeah, so that's true about World Beyond. We do get information about the CRM. We do get stuff about it, so we get to kind of find out stuff about Rick and about Jadis and the Rick movies. So that's useful in World Beyond. I don't know. It's okay, but with considering how many different things are on right now, Fear's also on. Walking Dead, still has just ended just recently. Not everybody's seen it yet. I don't know for World Beyond, guys. I'm not feeling it right now. I'll give it another try for the second episode, and I'll try it again. But very simply, I just think it sucks. Like, it's just not. I just don't think it's very good. That's all. So yeah, next is like two years behind. Well, thanks for showing up and showing some love. Yeah, I understand not everybody watches Walking Dead anymore, but it's wrapping up now. So if you want to catch up, it is going to be ending soon, so you might want to. Trading cards and more said, hey Trev, gonna watch Fear episode soon. Can't wait. Yeah, it's I think it's pretty good. Trading cards. I haven't seen it all the way through, but it looks good. Definitely the nuke Fallout stuff is really cool because you get to see a different type of environment. It looks different than any other we've probably seen before in Walking Dead. And I think the nuke was awesome. Season 6 of Fear was really awesome. Probably their best season yet. Probably even better than Season 3. It certainly did end with a bang. HFG, what's up, man? How you doing? White Dom says, Trav, I'm addicted to Kratom. What do I do? I don't know what that is. What is Kraton? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Prometheus says they could have showed the 9th episode for real. What do you mean for Walking Dead? Well, you got to wait till February. They probably got to edit it still and stuff like that. They've probably got all the footage filmed. Well, they do have all the footage filmed for it, but they have to do all the editing and all that stuff, you know. Josh said, Walking Dead is not Star Wars, and you can't wait 20 years for the next movie. Yeah, I agree. Well, Star Wars, see, the thing with Star Wars is Star Wars got bought out by Disney. So Disney is like Skynet, you know, okay, Google Skynet, but Disney is like, as far as entertainment's concerned, it's like Skynet of entertainment. You know, whatever Disney touches, whatever old Walt, is he really frozen or is that, I don't think that's true, right? I think that's just like some myth or something. Whatever Disney buys is going to work. So if Disney buys Star Wars, expect it to be like, you know, at the forefront again. If Disney buys Marvel, expect it. You guys know that Marvel almost went out of business in the 90s. They were very close to bankruptcy. I think the X-Men movie, the first X-Men movie, saved them because comics weren't selling as well. I think Spawn and Image were coming on and were like the hottest thing in the 90s at that time. And DC was doing, I think, just okay. But yeah, Marvel was almost out of business. And the movies kind of brought them back. They kind of saved them. Especially the X-Men movies to start with, and Spider-Man as well too did fairly well and everything. And when those become popular, the comics start selling a lot more. But yeah, they sold. I think they sold for 4 or 5 billion to Disney. Marvel was sold to Disney for about 4 or 5 bill, and then I guarantee you, they've already made that back from Avengers and all the MCU stuff they've done. Guaranteed, it's already been made back. So whatever Disney does is just going to work, basically, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. And I see it like with Star Wars too, with Mandalorian and all the different stuff they're doing, Disney Plus and everything. And even the action figures. Like I see it in figures, like I'm watching figure videos and stuff, and I see all these dudes, they're collecting Star Wars Black Series, they're collecting all the Star Wars stuff. I'm like, wow, man. Really, really big time now, that's for sure. Yeah. Golo Production says, crazy how the viewing figures fell so much over the last few years for Walking Dead. Yeah, I think after the vid, I think that maybe it's so similar to like what people went through during that time. Well, they're still kind of going through it because there's still stuff happening, like, you know, the jabs and everything. So there's still stuff going on with regards to it. I think that when that happened and after, it just was like, it, you know, wasn't the type of, it's not the type of series people are that interested in because it's too similar to what we went through in real life, right? Like, even in imagination, like, it's too similar to, like, you know, virus, we're all infected, all that stuff, you know, apocalypse, everything. You know, it became very close to that in terms of kind of like what we saw in real life. So I think it affected people's tastes in terms of, you know, are they going to want to watch? Are they going to tune in for Walking Dead and watch that? And I wasn't sure if it was going to, because I thought, well, maybe people can relate to it more, so they'll be more interested to see something like that. But I guess with escapism, it probably ended up being the opposite. Like, people want to escape, so whatever's going on in real life, they don't want to watch something similar. I think it's probably like that with The Office. If you guys have ever seen the show The Office, it's a popular show and everything. I hate it because when I'm watching it, it just makes me feel like I'm at work or something, you know. And not that my work was ever like The Office, but it just was too similar for me to, like, I just sat there and thought, why? Okay, I understand some of it's funny. Steve Carell's funny, whatever. But why would people want to watch something that reminds them of being at work. It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, so granted, Office Space is pretty cool. If you guys have ever seen that movie, that's a good movie. So yeah, I just think it's too similar to what people went through, and so after they've kind of gone through that for a couple years, and then some, we're still going through it now, even with it's still in the news, stuff like that. People are burned out on it, but it's still in the news all the time, and the J stuff is like they're pretty strict on that. So I just think that Walking Dead is kind of similar in terms of its genre to what we sort of went through with everything. That people, it just became something that after that was done, people were like, I don't want to watch this because it's too, maybe it's there's a connection there in the mind between it. Yeah. Yeah. World Beyond, yeah. Woke Beyond, yeah. I know. Spitfire, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Joseph, I have seen parts of Fear Season 7 premiere. I'll do a full review later, but we won't do it just now because I got to go through it and, really watch it all the way through. I just flipped through parts of it to notice that Strand is the focus and everything, and it does look good and everything. I'm going to watch it after this, so the environments look really good. HFG said, wow, Trev, I had a similar reaction to The Office. I had to admit that I was triggered because I had a work situation like that. Yeah, a lot of, and it's not to say that it's a bad show or anything. It's realistic, right? Like, it makes you feel like you're there and stuff. People are joking around and stuff like that, which, I'm the type of person when I'm at work, like, I like to joke around a little bit. It's fine. But I like to get down to work too and get the work finished, and then when the work is done, then we can kind of chill afterwards or whatever, joke around after. But get the work done first and then joke around later, right? That's the way I like to do things. But yeah, The Office just made me feel like I was like at work or something, or I don't know why people would like it, but I think that there's an audience for it. Fair enough, whatever, what have you, right? So I'm not going to hate on what other people like. We like Walking Dead, whatever, and different types of shows like that. They're a bit dark. Some other people who like the lighter stuff, they're going to say, why would people want to watch that? It's so dark and scary and stuff. So it depends. But, I just think that that's what it is, that after the vid, because remember, they didn't announce the end of the series until after that had happened. Like, once that happened, they were like, okay, maybe we will end it soon because we're just not sure. And I think that ABC Plus probably got us a few more years, but yeah, that's just kind of what it is. Reaper 0878 said, World Beyond is so cringe, it's almost as bad as a daytime soap opera. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, World Beyond definitely is a disappointment, I think, for Walking Dead fans. I think that, they've also done so many episodes of it. It's just everything feels familiar, maybe too familiar, and then when they try to do something different, it's like they do it different, and it's it's not. Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me at all. Maybe some people like it. I don't know. I just don't. That's all. But some of the Walking Dead stuff in it is cool, and the CRM is cool. Huck is cool. Hope's okay, and Elizabeth is a great villain though. So I think the villains in the CRM, the villains in World Beyond are better than the survivors in it, I think. So, yeah. I don't know. Diana says that I've been banging TV series Lost. Yeah, Jay likes Lost too, Deanna. He asks all the time. He's like, we got to do Lost reviews. It's like, oh my God, it's been over for a while now. But yeah, World Beyond is killing me, she says. So yeah, I understand that, Diana. I know. I want to watch it too. And like all week I've been trying to watch the second episode of World Beyond, and I just keep procrastinating on it. I'm like, why am I procrastinating? I never have a problem watching Walking Dead stuff so I can review it with you guys or, do that. But with World Beyond, it's like, I just can't bring myself to watch it. I just can't. It's just so, oh man, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I think that you got to have characters that people like for a show to work, right? So maybe there's some people who like those characters in World Beyond. In terms of the good guys, I don't really like the good guy team in World Beyond particularly. Some of the kids are okay, but I wouldn't say that I, like them, like compared to Rick and the original group of Walking Dead, or compared to Fear's groups that it's kind of had. Its original group with the Clarks, and then spinning off into kind of Morgan coming in and an amalgamation between the two joining. World Beyond is just not, it's just not there, man. It's yeah. So I do have some questions that were sent to me earlier. So Randy Barnett said that Trev, even Z Nation was better than World Beyond, and I actually have to agree. Z Nation is better than World Beyond. It really is, and people would make fun of Z Nation because they thought it was so terrible because it was comedy and stuff. And they did some episodes of Z Nation where their budget was like nothing. Like, I mean, they had a budget of like zero for Z Nation. Like, I'm sure that each episode only cost them like, like $100,000 or a few more, like a few $100,000 or something, which is not a lot to do a whole episode of a series. And I still would say that Z Nation is better than World Beyond is. I really would, because again, like Murphy and some of the characters, some of the characters in Z Nation were good. World Beyond's characters so far for me are just like, no. Okay, let's see. Tesla Da Vinci said that Sebastian looks and acts like the kid in Alexandria who shot Carl's eye out. So that was Ron, I believe, right? That was with, there was Sam, there was Jesse, there was Ron. Yeah. So in season 6 and in season 5 too, a little bit. Yeah, so Sebastian has some similarities to Ron in that they're kind of like younger villains for Walking Dead. And Sebastian's worse than Ron, a lot worse, I think. But we'll see what they do with him in the TV series. He just better not kill Daryl or something, otherwise I'm going to get really mad. Alex H. said, are you going to review Squid Game, Trev? So I don't know, man, maybe. People have been talking about Squid Game a little bit. I never heard about it prior. Just like the last week or two, I've heard of Squid Game. I never heard of it before that. No idea really what it is, but maybe I can take a look. Is Squid Game like a Hunger Games type of series or something? Is that what it is? Somebody let me know. And then Leslie Tanashi asked if we're going to do a live stream tonight. Yeah, we'll do this short one here, Leslie, so I hope you like it. Sifu Mary Bongo Mo said, don't want walkers in your house. Take the steps off your porch. So that's an interesting strategy to deal with the zombie apocalypse. Get rid of your porch. I don't know, like if that would that work? Because then they'd have to climb up. I think walkers can climb, actually. If you look at season 1, there's a walker who tries to climb up a ladder. Now, whether or not he can actually do it, I guess he can't. But at least they can kind of try to. So I don't know if getting rid of your porch would really work. I think they could kind of like maybe pull themselves up into your doorway or something. Maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe it wouldn't work. You should set up like a moat around your house, right, for walkers, right, that they can like get in the water and stuff. Maybe they just walk through the water. Maybe it's not such a good idea. Zach said, hey, Trev, I've heard a theory going around that Lance has connections to the CRM. I don't know. That's from Zach. I don't know, Zach, where you would get that from, that Lance somehow has something to do with the CRM. He certainly is a Commonwealth. He's in the comics, too, and he's just a Commonwealth character. So I don't really see what he would have to do much with the CRM. But, we'll see how they tie the Commonwealth and the CRM in together. If we see something in the Rick movie, maybe the Rick movies are meant to be kind of like a spin-off of the original series or something. Maybe that's what they've decided to do. I really don't know. Ryan Francis said, I never understood why groups are struggling for food. Why not just go check out a Walmart? So the idea is, for Ryan, the idea is that after 10 years into the zombie apocalypse, that many years later, all the food will expire and go bad, basically. So even though there'll be a lot of food at Walmart at first, and people will fight over it for the first 5 years maybe, or a few years until it all kind of expires and gets like really, really bad. I think you can still eat most expired food for a little while, but I don't think you can eat it for 10 years. I think you will get sick after a while. It depends on which item you're talking about, right? But yeah, it can be good for a little while, but it won't be good permanently. So at some point, they have to grow their own food. They can't, or, catch fish and stuff like that. If you're like really good at catching fish, maybe you can go and do that every day. There's people who do that in real life, right? In certain countries and everything still. I see some guys fishing down at the water. AJYT Abbott says, considering he's nowhere to be seen in the trailer, and I think it would be too coincidental to have all the teams survive, Elijah's probably going to die in the killing the Reaper that killed his sister, or die saving Maggie. So we might see Elijah be killed off in the second part of this season. I can see that. for sure, because he is already injured, I think. And we did see that. And I think it was his sister that's walking with him when he's in his Whisperer gear. So we'll have to see for him. He's still pretty young, so don't know if they're going to use him much more. But again, we just have a little bit of time left for Walking Dead, so it's hard to say. Darius Pfeiffer said, who do you think will take Dwight's role in the Commonwealth? He kind of played a large role. So in the Commonwealth, because Dwight has gone to Fear, there's a huge missing spot there for Dwight in the in the storyline of the original series. In the comics, Dwight has a really big part in the Commonwealth. Maybe some of that will be given to Daryl, and maybe Rick's part will be given to Aaron. That would be my kind of prediction for that. And then RJ said, there's a photo of Rosita in Commonwealth soldier gear. So I'm sure she's okay. And besides, Rosita became a surrogate mom to Judith right now, so she needs to still be around. Yeah, I'd said this season that I thought Rosita would be killed off in the last final season, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they'll just never do it. And that'd be okay too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like having some survivors who just survive all the way through to the end. We can't every season have like an A-lister killed off all the time, right? So that's not good. Okay, that's the prep comments I have from you guys from this week. And let's see what you guys said in the chat here. And I think tonight we might call a little short, guys, because I don't have too much prepped, and I want to watch Fear Season 7 premiere still. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Elvis said, World Beyond Episode 3 was dreadfully awful. I'm not surprised. I can't even get through Episode 2 yet, Elvis. World Beyond is okay, but I'm waiting for Jadis to show up. Is she not in Episode 3 yet? I thought she'd be showing up soon. Josh says, only watch your reviews for World Beyond to see what's happening. Let's pray the movies are coming in. Yeah, let's hope that they get those done. Tim Simmons says, seen the third. They're all blah, but getting info on the way to CRMR. Yep. Okay, and let's see. Red Lotus, what's up, man? Okay, I think we got all these comments. What else did you say here? Let's see. What's up, Latavia Murphy? How are you doing? Golo Productions. It's crazy how the viewing figures fall so much for the last few years for Walking Dead. Yep, that's true. And we got Lulu. How you doing, Lulu? Thanks for joining. Okay, let's see. After the gender and race swap all characters in all possible reboots, they'll go out of business again with having nothing to pander with to PC culture, said Elvis. Yeah, I heard in the new Turtles they did that with April. I think they did a race swap with April and they made Casey a female. I think something like that in the new Rise of TMNT. That like boils my blood, man. That like yes, he's so angry. It's like a female Casey. That just doesn't sound right in any which way. But okay, whatever. See, the thing is like all the good properties get bought out by these huge conglomerates like Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever, and then they become woke. It's just what happens, Now AMC is not like the biggest. They're an S&P, I think 600 or 700 company, not a 500 or less. So they're not like maybe as big as Nickelodeon or as big as Disney. Definitely not as big as Disney, but yeah, they do it in every single one, right? It's just what happens. Okay, let's see. Have you ever seen the movie called Halloween, the one that came out in 2018? That's from Tyler Jefferson. I've seen the original Halloween. I saw the trailers for the remake, the 2018 one. Was that Rob Zombie who did that one? Is that his? I forget, man. I'd have to look back a couple years. I didn't see it because I was doing videos with you guys all the time. That's one thing that's tricky with me, right? It's like I want to watch all these different things, but I'm always making videos like every day. So I don't always get time to check out new stuff to watch it and to do reviews because I'm with you guys already doing reviews on the stuff that we already do cover. So yeah, HFG. Office Space is a classic movie. It's really one of the best. Office Space, Napoleon Dynamite, some classic comedy movies. Absolutely love them for sure. Golo said, "Imagine if modern day Disney created The Walking Dead. Oh, it'd be awful. It wouldn't even be what it is. You know what I mean? If it started, it wouldn't even be what it is now. Like it'd be totally different. Okay, let's see. Reaper says, but Fear is and has been killing it because it has the best cast of characters, and it would seem the most engaging apocalyptic storyline in my opinion. Well, it's very good. I agree. They've definitely stepped up Fear the Walking Dead a lot, and it's comparable to the original series. Sometimes its episodes are better than the original Walking Dead. I have to admit that now, because so many of the original cast members of Walking Dead have left and are leaving, and Fear has added on Morgan, added on Dwight, has their, the surviving cast is still there from earlier. So they've done some amazing stuff, absolutely. And their showrunners are really good. I think they've done, had some really good ideas. They've had some stuff that wasn't so good, like the beer guy and things like that weren't so good. But, well, I don't know, maybe people would brew beer in the zombie apocalypse. I guess so. What else would you do, right? The apocalypse. Okay. Blitz Gamer says, Trevor, are you going to be watching Marvel's Eternals? It has Richard Madden and Kit Harington in it and Connie from Walking Dead. Yeah, I know. It's got some good cast in it for Eternals. I don't know if I'm into it, man. The Marvel stuff just kills me now. Like, since it became Disney, now it's Disney. Like, Marvel isn't the Marvel that I remember. Marvel is Disney now. And that kills me because it's like, I like the Marvel that wasn't Disney. I like 90s Marvel, 2000s Marvel. Once it became Disney and it's like everywhere, then it started to I started to not like it as much. I still like X-Men. I'll always like X-Men because that reminds me of the time before Marvel was Disney. Eternals is like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll watch it, but I'm not like crazy, like amped for it or something. Same thing with Shang-Chi. I know people were like ready to watch that. I think people have just become such Disney. They're such Disney fans. They're such Disney. Yeah, it's Disney. They're such Disney fans that they just are going to go out and watch all the Marvel stuff that they release. Like if there's Black Panther, they're going to watch that. If there's Shang-Chi, they're going to watch that. If there's Eternals, they're going to go watch that. Just because it's Marvel, right? I'm not really like that. I'm kind of like, if I don't know, maybe if it looks good, maybe, but I don't know. I'm kind of burned out on the Marvel stuff. I really am. Just too much of it, I think, for me anyway, for my taste. And I have a awesome Marvel Legends collection and comic collection and everything, and it's too much for me. So what does that tell you? Red Lotus says the only thing holding my interest from World Beyond is the mystery behind the CRM. I could care less about any of the characters. Yeah, I agree too. Kieran Creation says, pee pee poo poo. Nice. Okay, thank you, Kieran Creations. I don't know. What the hell? Diana Rainey says, sorry, I can't spell. That's okay. Lulu said, but Lost is so trash. Well, I think a lot of people like Lost, Lulu. World Beyond is mediocre content. It's the type of garbage that round earthers watch. Yeah, sphere earthers. Yeah, right. I love now that, I think Eric has done such a great job, and all the others too, like all the other ODD and Owen and the whole real flat earth crew. Not the fake, we're Masons, but we're like Flat Earth Society, but we're actually Masons, yeah. No, not those guys. Like the actual Flat Earth, the real Flat Earth guys. Those guys have done such a good job that I think that people are actually starting to come over to their side. A lot of people. But I'm surprised by that because it's like, trying to wake people up from some of these things they've been lied to for so long about is damn near impossible. But I think they've done a really, really good job of it. So it's fun. But I like that comment there, Blitz. It's funny. At least some of my viewers looked at it, right? Like most of them are like, what the F are you talking about, Trev? And then the ones who did look at it, did the research, they're like, holy shit, this is actually really cool. It's like, yeah, I know, right? It's awesome. Diana says that she has the vid. So you have to excuse my bad writing. Sorry to hear it, Diana, that you got the deal, man. How long you been out for and how you feeling, right? Let's be real, the kids is lame, Trev. Yeah, it's not the best. I think they were going for a Stranger Things. Deal with Walking Dead, and it just didn't work as far as I'm concerned. It just didn't work. I don't know why. I guess because Stranger Things has the nostalgia and the kids, so it reminds us of being that age. When none of us grew up during a zombie apocalypse, so we can't really relate so much to that. Maybe we can relate to the treehouse, maybe we can relate to that stuff, and it's okay. But they tried it. It was okay for a little while, I think. I don't know. It's tricky, right? It's kind of It's sometimes I want to say, well, maybe it's okay, but then other times I'm like, this sucks. So, yeah. World War Z was amazing. Sierra reminds me of the Empire in Star Wars, says Dirty Dan. Well, I think the Empire in Star Wars, Dirty Dan, is based off of the Empire that we have in real life, which we won't go into too much. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. George Lucas pretty much based the Empire in Star Wars off of real life Empire that we have. Federation of Earth, United Nations, all that stuff. So, yeah, because if you look at the Sith Lords, like you look at the Emperor and all that stuff, the Emperor, Klaus Schwab kind of looks like the Emperor, huh? he wears like a black robe. He's got his big black robe on thing. They got their hoods and all that stuff. It's like that you don't know the power of the dark side. Even the way he says power, that's the way people in the occult say power. They don't say power like power. They say like power like that. It's really weird. Their accent, with the way witches and stuff say power, it's like, what the hell's that? Is it power? Like how do you pronounce that? But they do. They say like power. I don't know. It's a weird accent. So yeah, Star Wars is really cool. And there's some U.S. military stuff that they actually do, which is kind of inspired by Star Wars, which we won't get into. It's over the scope of this video. But anyway, okay, let's keep going here. The people that wrote World Beyond must have gotten the poke. Yeah, okay. A little too vicious, Blitz. A little too vicious, my friend. Diana says anything's better than World Beyond. Tristan says, to be honest, I like the third episode of World Beyond for a change. I am done with Iris, though. I hope she dies pretty soon. So that's how you know people like it, is when they hope that a character that you're trying to get over, you're trying to get everybody to like, and everybody wants to see them killed off. That's how you know it's working, right? It's like when it's totally backfiring to like the highest level ever. When this is supposed to be like your Rick or your Daryl for your series, or like your Morgan or Alicia, and everyone wants to see them be killed. It's just not working at all. That's how you know it's like being done well, right? Elvis says CRM are not villains at all. In this state that the world is now, must be cleaned out of trash. So Elvis sees the CRM, the Empire, as not bad, and the zombies as and the people, the profane, let's say, as the evil ones. Okay, well, I see what you're saying there. Lulu says, I would say Care Bears is better than World Beyond. Someone said watch World Beyond or take the D. I choose the D. It was less painful. What? Prometheus has got some crazy comments. Diana, season 1 walkers picked up bricks too. Oh, right, they did. Frank Darabont walkers like smash things with rocks and bricks and climb ladders and all kinds of smart stuff. Oh, they also turn door handles. So they tried out door handles, right? Morgan's wife tries to turn the door handle. Very cool. And then they stopped doing that later on for whatever reason. Smart walkers didn't last very long in Walking Dead. Mr. Confirmed said Lance is CRM. He never knows he lies, says Diana Brady. So I don't know who that is. I don't know what you're even talking about. I'm just reading your comments. I can't keep up with all this stuff. There's just too much shit going on. I can't be in the know on all this stuff. Myrtle Man says, hey, Trev, I'm getting sick of woke stuff and Walking Dead World Beyond. I only watch because Elizabeth Kublik is at this point. Iris is just so cringy and annoying, though. I can't stand it. Yeah. That's Elvis says, like, what's Mr. Confirm? What is this? What? I don't know. Okay. There's too many people, Diana. We can't keep up. There's just too many people now. I don't even know. Okay, let's see. Hey, Trav, have you seen? It's not a bad thing. It just means that, we won't know everything. There's no way you could know. Tyler Jefferson says, Trev, have you seen the trailer for Halloween Kills? I don't think so. No. Yug sends a bunch of zombies through, so that's cool. Graham, what's up, Graham? Says he's late. Well, you're not too late, man. We just started like half an hour ago, so it's no big deal. And I think my web camera might be kind of flashing here. Let me see about this. Sorry, guys. I don't usually do this live. It's very amateurish, I must admit. Okay, there we go. All right, not too bad. Rob Zombie did Halloween 2. Okay, thank you, Lulu. I am a huge Rob Zombie fan. I actually still listen to Dragula, which I think, does it have 13 tracks? I think so. And I forget the runtime. It's something occult. Anyway, he's got some awesome stuff. Love Rob Zombie. Okay. He's done a lot of really dark stuff, too. Grimm said William Shatner at 90 years old is going up in a Bezos rocket. Right. Very, very cool, Grimm. Yeah. Well, he's done his work, right? So he did all the Star Trek stuff. He did all the other stuff to in culture creation to get that ready. So now he's gonna do it for real, right? For real. He's gonna do it for real. He's gonna go into outer space for real. So yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see what I got. It's a Spitfire. I'm gonna skip your comment. Thug Beer, I want some of that Canadian cabbage. What are you talking about? You want weed? Is that what you're talking about, Lulu? We have like cannabis stores all over the place now. There's like cannabis stores everywhere. It's ridiculous. That's what we do here in Canada. We just all get stoned. Apparently, that's all we do. We just sit around and eat. We eat waffles with syrup, maple syrup, and we get stoned. That's what we do. And pizza. We eat a lot of pizza here too. That's why we're all kind of out of shape. All right. So Henry says Bezos has a rocket. So, well, don't be too impressed there, Henry. Rockets are not what you think they're. Tim F says, so the Marvel that wasn't woke, Disney trash. Yeah, that's right, Tim. Yeah, that's what I used to like. I used to like when Wolverine would just dice people up, and it wasn't like, he had to be female or something, or he had to be like, a different national ethnicity or something. He could just go and hack people up, and that was allowed. Like they didn't have to kill him off like He-Man or something. He could actually just go and be manly, and that was allowed. Yeah. It's good. Okay, let's see. X-Men will always be the best. Yeah, I agree. The X-Men movies in totality, I think, are better than anything else Marvel has done. The Avengers stuff is good too, and people like it. The Avengers stuff is right at the forefront. But for me, I like the X-Men stuff better, and I probably always will. Yeah. So let's see. I haven't seen 2018 Halloween, Tyler, so I can't comment. Grim said, who'd rocket spaceship? I forget. Yeah. It's about right. That's about right, Graham. I think that's the point. Confusion, right? That's the idea. Diana says Disney when Walt was alive. Yeah, I think he was. Walt was at 33, right? I'm pretty sure he was. Anyway, maybe we shouldn't talk about that, but yeah, I think he was. Okay, Josh says I had a good week. Thank you. Okay, great. Lulu, no, I'm not. I'm not a Mason. No. How much you bench press these days? Well, I can do 250 or whatever. 187. So maybe we'll do a lifting video. I'll show you. I can still do 50 push-ups, which is really good. 50 push-ups is a lot to do consecutively without stopping. Touch the chest to the floor every time. So I can still do that. So that's a pretty good benchmark for strength. Lulu said power, right? Yeah, they actually do though. Like if you listen to them talk, like some of the people who are like really into all that occult shit, listen to the way they say power. They don't say it like power. They got this weird. I don't even know what it is. It's this weird occult accent thing that they do. I don't even know. I can name some people if you want to go listen to them say power. It's really really weird. I don't know. Cultists and stuff. Anyway, okay, let's move forward. Darth Sidious. Yeah, basically that's what it is, right? The Sith are Satanists. That's all they are. If you look at Star Wars, the Sith, the dark side, is just Satanism. They even use red and black. Those are the colors of Satan. That's what it is. So they've got the red lightsabers. They wear all black. And you got Vader, transhumanist Vader. He's like part, robot, part whatever. That's what they are. You got the Emperor. He's like wearing a cloak all the time, and he shoots like lightning bolts out of his fingers. But Yoda's cool. I don't have anything bad to say about Yoda. My favorite Star Wars characters, I like Yoda. I like Luke, the original Luke. That's pretty much it as far as the characters I really like from Star Wars. That's basically it. Yeah. I don't think so, Sicario. I don't think that Alicia's dead in Fear the Walking Dead. We just don't see her in the premiere episode with Strand. It's a Strand episode for the first one. Mark Adams says, forget this. Just make the Walking Dead movie. I know. World Beyond, I agree with you, Mark. I don't think World Beyond added anything great to the Walking Dead universe. I think that it kind of it's just there, but I don't think it advanced Walking Dead or it made Walking Dead any better. I think if anything, it might have hurt Walking Dead. And that's basically it. I don't think it really added much for us for Walking Dead. I don't think anybody really is going to subscribe to AMC Plus to watch World Beyond. Maybe a few people, but not many. So yeah. Myrtle says Pope marked you. Yep. Myrtle says funny when Sebastian called the group members the nasties. Yeah. I don't remember that. Was that in the episode? I forget. Okay, let's see. Ryan G says, Trav, do you have an apocalypse plan? Are you a survival enthusiast? Well, I'm starting to become one here, Rye. I wasn't originally, Rye, but I guess now I'm starting to like buy extra water, and I'm like buying extra food, like all kinds of canned food, protein powders that can last for a few years, and you can mix them with water and drink them, stuff like that. So I'm not a prepper, I'm not a survivalist, but I've started to be extra toilet paper, after our lesson we got taught there about, what was that, a year, 2 years ago, we almost all ran out of toilet paper. So, I'm not a prepper or a survivalist guy. I don't have any guns and stuff like that, but, I'm starting to get extra, stock up on extra stuff, right, for the next few years, just because we just don't know, man. So that's my, answer to you there. But my survival plans, I don't know, just eat a bunch of food and I don't know what else. Try to stay warm because I live in Canada, so it could get cold if the power goes out. I don't know. Maybe cut down some trees. I got like an axe, go cut some trees down and start, burning wood for fires every day or every winter or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen because I like you guys too much. I don't want to see everybody disappear. I really hope that doesn't happen. Diana says, Mr. Confirmed is, okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Bezos is becoming Lex Luthor. Yeah. It's funny. It looked like Dr. Evil, right? Some of these guys look like movie characters. I always thought Zuckerberg was weird looking. He does look like some kind of reptilian or something. There's something weird about Zuckerberg. I don't know, man. Like, sometimes I look at him, I think, okay, is he AI or something? Like, is this guy like part human, part AI or something? I'm not being serious, right? I'm just kidding, right? But, I look at him sometimes like, this guy, a weird looking dude, man. It's like, is he a cyborg or something? Is he a robot? And I don't think that he created, by the way, the idea of these people creating these companies is like nonsense as far as I'm concerned. These like LifeLog, Facebook, and all the other stuff, Microsoft, Gil Bates, all this stuff is like, they're just given that because they're in the club, man. They're in the cult, so they get the stuff that's developed by DARPA and U.S. military research. They get given it because of who they are, based on their lineage, and then they go out and and then they make movies about it after to like propagandize you into thinking they started them in their garage and you could do something like that too. And it's like, no, you can't, and no, they didn't. The only one I'm questioning is Bitcoin because. Bitcoin is interesting. I still think it was Nick Szabo who created Bitcoin off of BitGold, but I think it's been bought out now. So Bitcoin might actually be an original one that actually was created by like a university academic type guy. But I think the exchanges are pretty much being bought out now. I saw I think CEX.io has been bought out by London, and some of the different exchanges are being bought out. So it's like, yeah, you kind of know the score there. They're starting to buy up the exchanges and buy up stuff for crypto. So I would expect if they're going to do that and they're not going to crush it, then I would expect a lot of volatility up and down because they're going to pump it and dump it, and people sell, they'll buy, pump it and dump it. They know, these old school financial gurus, they've got the ideas of how to do it. They're going to pump it, and people buy in, they sell, they dump it, and people sell, they buy, they up and down. So I expect a lot of volatility in crypto, but I think it's going to get mainstream adoption now because I think they're buying it up. So, yeah. So it should be fun stuff. Okay, like social credit score type stuff. Maybe Bitcoin is like going to be our social credit system, right? Something like that. Somehow they'll integrate it or something. I don't know. We'll see. Tyler said, what is your favorite Halloween movie in the Halloween franchise? Favorite Halloween movie? In the Halloween franchise itself? Honestly, man, I haven't seen all the Halloween stuff, so I can't really say like which one my favorite is. I like the original. I like the theme music a lot, and I can't compare it because I haven't seen all the other ones. But maybe at some point in the future, I'll watch them all, and we could do that. Lulu says Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell. some of my favorite horror movies. Well, he's just really great. I like his music more than his movies, actually. I wish he'd make more music. I don't think he makes music anymore. I wish he would go back to doing that because his music is really awesome stuff. Even though it's dark and probably, satanic and stuff like that, whatever. I don't care. It's still awesome. Awesome is awesome. That's all there is to it. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that's true, Lulu. They do. HFG says, I miss the old X-Men. Yeah, well, I love the 90s X-Men and all that stuff around there, and the X-Men movies. Really awesome. So, Blitz didn't like them. Okay, fair enough. Well, we all have our own tastes and everything. So, let's see. What else did you guys say here? I think that's all the Walking Dead stuff that I had for you guys for tonight. And we'll have to watch Fear's premiere and do a review. Carmine said, how come AMC Plus for me doesn't have Fear Season 7? It should, Carmine. Mine has it. So I don't know if it's a region thing. I don't know if they kind of screwed up. AMC Plus isn't perfect. I get that feedback all the time, that sometimes the episodes show up, sometimes they don't, so it's tricky. Yeah, I would just say that try and see if you can, I don't know, maybe you can find it elsewhere, or maybe just watch it when it shows up. It should be there. I know it's live, so Season 7 Fear should be there. I don't know. Maybe check streaming for AMC Plus. Sign into the streaming online instead, because if you've got it for regular TV, you should be able to sign into it via either website or maybe Amazon Video and get it that way. But it should be up there now for you, unless you live in a different country or something. Then I'm not sure. Thanks for joining, Isaiah Sazo. And yeah, we only do live for a little bit, so we try to have some fun when we do, and I try not to lose my voice entirely. Okay, let's see. Jamal, what's up, man? How you doing? Another Harris, so that's cool. We've got Ryan's rather watch a Jar Jar movie than World Beyond. Yeah. Henry said Mark Zuckerberg is Data from Star Trek Next Generation. Oh, he does act like Data. That's true. I never thought about that. Like when he talks and everything. I wonder if he does that on purpose. Probably does it on purpose. Maybe that's what. Maybe he's a Trekkie, right? So he tries to look like he's a cyborg and walks around and stuff. Sometimes he looks really pale too, and you see him and it's I think somebody asked if he was a reptile once, and his answer was so awful. I was more convinced after that maybe he is a reptilian than before. So, yeah. All right, what else we got here? So, in the zombie apocalypse, would you be a good guy or villain? Spitfire, totally a villain, man. No, I'm a good guy. I wouldn't hurt too many people, right? So, at least not at first. I don't know. Maybe it's something you got to do for a while and then it grows on you. I'm not sure. You have to ask people who are into that stuff. I'm not into hurting others. So, but now I'd be a good guy at least for a little while. I don't know how long it would last for a little while. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I agree, Lulu. Nothing beats the 90s X-Men. Absolutely not. That's right, man. 90s X-Men rule. I even have the cards and stuff. Where are my cards? I got some 90s X-Men cards. They're in the other room. I've done some videos on them. I love 90s X-Men. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's see. Trav, you said you like Rob Zombie's music. Do you like Marilyn Manson, Henry? Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of like Marilyn Manson. He did the music video with Daryl with Don't Chase the Dead with Norman, which was really good. I love that song. He's got some good songs. I like Marilyn Manson, sure. And let's just leave it there, right? Really good. So, okay, let's keep it. I'm not trying to be too judgmental or anything. I like Marilyn Manson music. That's all I have to say about it. Okay. Zuckerberg is definitely a Star Trek fan. Yeah, you gotta tell, right? You can sort of tell he's a Trekkie. Yeah, he does seem like a Trekkie to me. So I wonder why he was picked for Facebook. That's what I wonder for LifeLog. I wonder why he was picked to be given LifeLog. Probably his dad, probably his family. That's what I would think. Because he would have been young at that time, not old enough to really have accomplished too much on his own. So he must have been picked for his lineage. That had to be the reason why. He's probably related to somebody. He's probably aristocracy or some shit like that. That's usually what you find when you deep dive those, almost every time. Okay, until you started going hungry, then Trev's going to start eating people. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. I got lots of tuna. I got years worth of tuna, man, and protein for years. Yeah, we just need some greens, man, then we're fine. Any news on the Rick movie, says Diana. No, nothing, Diana. Nothing, man. But at least it sounds like they're going to be able to finish filming Walking Dead series They're over halfway done filming the last season now, so they'll probably be finished soon. But no news on the Rick movies at all. Nope. Myrtle, what's up? Welcome back. And okay, cool. Did you change your name, or did they ban you, Websoak? I got some 90s X-Men cards as well. Yeah, they're awesome, Lulu. I agree. My favorite ones are the ones that connect the Danger Room set. Yeah, I love the 90s X-Men cards and stuff. Oh, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff, man. I was going to see if I had anything here to grab to show you, but I don't have anything handy. It's all in the other room. So, yep. Elvis said, I'm retired, age 33, Army General, full pension. Awesome, man. That a boy. 8 years of war. What do you think I'd do in the Walking Dead world? Elvis, I think you'd kill a lot of people. And congratulations for retiring at the age of 33. That's awesome. And was it seriously 33? Is that? I guess that's a fun number. They let you retire after only 8 years. Did you get injured, though, or something? Did you get shot there, Elvis? What happened when you were, doing your business, man? Okay, Carmine says, Trev, how many Earths do you think are in the universe? One. Just one, Carmine. I don't think there is a universe, and I'm not kidding about that. I think that it's a realm. It's created for us. You cannot exit Earth. You cannot exit the Earth system. What we see in the firmament, or what we see when we look up, I think is just basically like a desktop wallpaper. That's it. I don't think you can go out anywhere. I don't think that's possible. I think that is basically, luminaries, just a light show for us, basically, and it's for us. Now, you might think I'm being a bit narcissistic in that, but no, I think that that's the whole point. That's what we're here for. We've incarnated into this reality. I think it's a realm, and I don't think there is a universe at all. I don't think you can leave this place whatsoever. So, yeah. So that's kind of where my research has taken me to say. And now I know that that's not what all these other, Stephen Hawking, guy can't even speak, but somehow he can tell you how the universe started. All these guys, they all tell you the same stuff, but it's like, no, I don't think any of them really know what they're talking about, or if they do, then they're doing it on purpose. Well, it could be a multiverse, but multi-realm, I think I would say. I don't think that, there's an open... Like, if you want to talk in terms of game theory or in terms of designing like a universe or something, I don't think there's open space like that. Why you would design a system like that where there's 99.9999% of open space that's useless for nothing. I don't think you would have that. I think that you would have, where consciousness resides, you would have player characters there. You would have souls incarnating there. You'd have people there. And I don't think that you would have the rest of it be anything. And I think it's just basically that's what it is. Just like if you were to design yourself like a game or something, like a video game, like World of Warcraft or something like that, you're only going to put in the parts that the players can actually access. If there is a firmament or there is a limit to as far as you can go and it's closed off at that point, that just means the level doesn't extend that far. So your realm is limited. And I'm certain we live in a limited realm. I don't think you can go in outer space. I don't think you can go into other galaxies. I think that those are there basically as a desktop wallpaper, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Chris Fix. That's it. But there could be other realms, certainly, and other dimensions and other places like that, like the DMT stuff, for example. When you take on DMT and you go into a different realm, right, or you cross and you start seeing little machine elves or whatever, gnomes or things like this, little people, or demonic entities, demons and stuff like this, depending on where you go. Those could be other realms and other systems. Like imagine if there's a trillion realms or something you could go to. Earth is one, and all the others are different. But I don't agree that we live in a universe which is vast and infinite and has all these different, galaxies and all these different places that you could actually go to with terra firma. No, I don't think that you could do that, or go to actual other planets and actually actually land on them and actually live on them and do. I don't think any of that stuff's real. No, I don't think so. Yeah, and there might be Spitfire, like Spitfire said, non-player characters, NPCs. There may be NPCs in the system, and that's what kind of people refer to zombies as, or the most profane people as, is NPC characters, like non-player characters, and you'd have to wonder if maybe they are, because sometimes you walk around and you think, if you ask them some questions, you try to understand, do they notice anything? Do they see anything? And the answer is no. They don't seem to really pick up on anything. They don't seem to really catch anything. They just believe whatever authority tells them all the time, 100%. And what's the difference between that and like Silent Weapon says, those who those who refuse to use their brains are no better than those who have no brains. So if somebody is, in terms of behaviorism, in behavioral psychology, if somebody is unwilling to use their God-given intellect, to use their insight, intuition, thinking skills, processing skills, if they are unwilling to use those or don't have the confidence in themselves to use those skills, they are no better than someone who doesn't have those skills at all, who has a hardware that does not allow for that level of intuition, insight, and research as well too, and just critical thinking. So they're no better than somebody who, someone who refuses to use that technique or that hardware is no better than someone who doesn't have it at all. So an NPC doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's limited in terms of hardware, like in terms of IQ or brain power. It could just be somebody who chooses not to use their thoughts themselves, or they've learned that it's not good for me to think, because when I think, people get upset, or when I think for myself and I question things, the teacher yells at me. So I better not question things, and I better not think for myself. I better just do whatever the teacher tells me, and if I do that's the right way to do it, right? They learn that that's the right way to do it, is to allow brainwashing, right? To absorb brainwashing. And so the difference between that or that basically, that's what an NPC is pretty much. It's just somebody who is that type of person. So what is to say that there's any difference? What is to say that it matters? If they have the agency, if they have the free will and agency to have the ability to critically think or have the ability to reason, and they refuse to do so, then they may as well not even have that ability. Be like a car that can go 200 miles an hour, but the speed limit everywhere you go is 110 maximum or something. There's really no reason to have that power if you're not going to be able to use it. Really no reason to to have the IQ if you're not going to push it, or you're not going to even try to use it. And that's NPC characters. Okay, let's see whether voluntary NPCs or actual NPCs. Is what it is. Okay, let's see. Yep, I agree with what you said there, Crucifix. And so Henry says, I don't believe in the whole flat Earth thing, realm Earth thing, because when you look up at the moon at night, it has different phases. It's clearly a sphere that rotates. So okay, well, fair enough. So that's the argument I've heard before, which is basically that other places, other luminaries, other planets, so you can see, or planets themselves, are spherical. So then we must be on a spherical plane, right? And then the problem with that is, what happens when you buy a P900 and you zoom in, many miles, and you find out that it's not, right? Or either that, or you have to somehow try to rationalize that your vision is like curving around a sphere, something like this, right? So, or is it such that ours is mostly flat, right? Mostly hills and valleys and whatnot, right? And oceans and everything, but mostly flat. And then others are spherical in the firmament, which is what the Bible. So let's go this way. So what does the Bible say? The Bible says that basically, or the idea, if you look at Genesis and everything, you go through it. The interpretation most people would get is that we're on a plane, right? And then the heavens are above us. So actually the moon, the sun, other planets are actually heavens, right? It's not just, another place in an infinite universe. Those are the heavens, is the way that the Bible would describe it. And so that used to be widely accepted, for a very, very long time. It's only like in the last 100 years or a little bit more that we've gotten the new model. So, and that's been propagated out through UNESCO, United Nations, and all the others. That's why everybody gets the same education. They put it in, grade school, like first grade, and give you the dinosaur toys and all the other stuff. So yeah, it's cool. But you're right. But one thing that about us rotating, Henry, I don't think we move at all whatsoever. Seems like to me that the Earth is totally stationary and doesn't move, which would be consistent with the Bible, which would be consistent with Genesis, which would be consistent and that's why you can zoom in way too far, is because you are in a realm, you're in a realm type system, and it doesn't move ever, basically. And that's why you can land planes. That's why you can do everything else. If we were rotating 1,000 miles an hour and spinning all over the place, planes would be crashing. Like, you just couldn't use planes. They just wouldn't work. Because as you're coming down, the ground, everything's rotating. You'd be rotating even if you want to say that the air inside the atmosphere rotates as well, I don't think you would think that it would rotate at exactly the same speed. So when you're landing a plane and the ground is moving underneath you, it would be almost impossible to land properly when the Earth is rotating 1,000 miles an hour. You just would be like, pilots, being a pilot would be the worst job ever, because you would be trying to land on a rotating, moving thing. Whereas if it's stationary and mostly flat, then you can, land because you're moving, but the ground is not moving underneath you. So you can land nice and easy. But you got to research it a lot if you want to understand geocentrism. See, the problem is that if you throw geocentrism out without understanding it and understanding both models, then you're kind of limiting yourself in terms of illumination, because then you're saying that I'm not going to learn this model. I'm just going to stick with the UNESCO model, and then, that I was taught in schools, right? And that's what I'm going to stay with. And you're not going to see all the problems with that model. So you're just going to basically, kind of restrict your own vision so that it fits the model that you've been given. Just don't buy any high zoom cameras and do any tests yourself, because you'll find out that it doesn't work. Okay, let's see, what else did we get here? Brandor said, I just watched World Beyond episode 3. It's pretty bad. I'm still trying to watch the second one, so you're ahead of me. Camp Hustle 1 says, what you think the upper atmosphere is basically a wallpaper. That's right. Smoking and eating waffles with maple syrup. Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's, Camp Hustle. So if you're going to create a realm, if you're going to make a World of Warcraft or something like that on a system, and you're going to run it, and you're going to have player characters in the system, do you have to include a design of all this other stuff in a universe and then just have like one place where all your characters incarnate at? Or would you create a realm like a World of Warcraft where you can look up in World of Warcraft, you can see other planets, other objects, firmament, you can see that, but you can't go there unless you actually program the ability for your player characters to go to a certain place via a Starlink or something like this, or a portal or something. Usually that's what it would be. So they're going to be, every time you create a system, you're going to have limits to the system. You're going to have a limit to as far as you can go out, right? You're not going to have it be actually infinite. That would be basically, the hardware you would have to be so powerful. It would have to like render as you're getting up further. You'd have to load or render the next level or the next section. So as you're going up further, you'd have to render more places, right? It's much better to set a limit to as far as you can go in a realm, and then just have the rest be a background. And so if you play like a World of Warcraft, or you play a video game like that, like the old school games that I would play in the 90s and we would play when we're growing up, PlayStation, all the other games and everything, there's a limit in terms of the hardware of how much the RAM and your components can store in your realm that you're creating, in your system. So you have to set a boundary. So if you're playing World of Warcraft and you get to the end of a level or you get to the end of a spot and you run into an invisible barrier, and that's as far as your player character can go, and they get stuck there and they just run forever, right? Then that's just, and there's nowhere to go. There's a limit to the level. So what I'm saying is that the realm that we reside in has a limit as well. And it's kind of a fixed set limit. And beyond that is rendered graphics, is rendered planets, right? Heavens, luminaries, everything else. So that's kind of what I'm saying as far as, that. If you don't understand anything I said, maybe, I don't know if you've ever done any programming before. I'm a computer scientist, so that's my deal, right? I don't know if you've ever played many video games before where you play different characters, you play different sub-realities. If you look at video games, they're actually created finite sub-realities that you're going into, right? Especially if you have an immersive experience where you wear like a Oculus or whatever, Virtual Boy back in the day, where it like, we don't really have smell figured out yet in games, right? Maybe we never will, right? Maybe that will just never be attractive for people to want to do. I guess it depends on the game, right? But you play a different game, it brings you to a certain place, and you play within those set rules of that system. So our system has set rules as well too. Our system has limits as well too. You can't just travel forever. You can't go galaxy hopping, and at this point we're here and there. That's science fiction. That's Shatner and Star Trek and Star Wars and the other stuff that instills in your mind the idea that we can go out into any of these galaxies and terraform. We can what's the word called when you when you terraform other planets and make them livable, and create the right oxygen and all this stuff. Each place has different gravity and all these different things. Yeah, that's all that science fiction. So you could even say that maybe the movies or the comics or the science fiction TV shows and stuff that you watch are their own sort of realities. So you could look at Walking Dead as its own kind of sub-reality inside of our reality, where you view, so you're just a viewer in that sense, you view the stories as playing out in their world and their universe. Well, or their realm, I guess you could say, because Walking Dead typically doesn't go in outer space, unless it's like Rick Grimes 2000 or something. So, so that gives you a little bit to start. We could probably do so much more on that, but, I don't know if I have the time, if I have the interest, because people just fight all the time, and I'm not really too interested in that. Wenson Wackaworth says, wait, so Trev, if there's nothing outside of Earth, yeah, you can't go outside of Earth. That's the point. You can't leave. That's the point. And if you don't know that that's at least something that's proposed, and that's something that has a lot of backing to it, then, maybe we shouldn't even start the conversation, right? Because you don't have the building blocks to get to the point where you can question, hey, wait a minute, can we actually leave Earth? Can we actually go into outer space, right? And then you find out that NASA's like, will tell you that low Earth orbit's like the highest we can go is low Earth. So no, you can't actually, right? And now you got to go into the idea of, okay, what about when they send bots to other planets and stuff like this and take pictures that look terribly like places here on Earth, right? Just with like red filters or gray filters and things like this. So it's there's a lot to it, man. I'm not going to be able to explain just ad lib here in a few minutes. We're doing a Walking Dead stream for you. Everything there is to know about that. You have to start researching. You have to start learning. Buy some books. Go through it all. And maybe you can kind of get further through there so you can know more about it. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that I believe we live in a created realm, and I'm fairly firm in those beliefs. I'm fairly solid in those beliefs, and that it's not a Big Bang happenstance universe, no. And that Stephen Hawking was a stage character. He was just a character. He didn't write. I don't think he wrote any of the stuff that. Just watch some of his older stuff, man. It's really pathetic. He like mumbles a few words and they tell you how the universe started. It's like, oh my God, this is quite clearly kind of a stage act. So that's what it is. No, I don't think it's infinite, and I don't believe in a Big Bang or anything like this. And I don't think there even really is a universe. I think that there's the realm that we're in, and that's basically, and it's set, and we're here. And I don't think we can leave, not physically with any spaceship or rocket ships that are always parabolic or anything like that. No, I don't think any of that is for real. And I'm totally serious with you too, by the way. Madeline K says, Trav, since most entertainment could be seen as predictive programming, yeah, that's true. A lot of it anyway. What do you, especially the Disney stuff and the big stuff, yeah. What do you think the characters are of them actually trying to pull off a Walking Dead situation virus type event in real life? Well, I know what you mean, Madeline. It's interesting. Walking Dead, ran all these years, and then like it's kind of wrapping up just as this thing has like been happening, right? It's cool. I don't think that there's anything to it. I think it's just coincidence. But, people are going to want stuff for entertainment as well, too. So not all entertainment is predictive programming. Not absolutely all of it is. Some of it's just fun stuff. But they put in stuff here and there in certain things that are kind of fun and that you can kind of, there's Easter eggs and stuff. Like we said, Walt Disney being a 33rd, so he's as in the club as you could get. It's just what it is. It's just, they're going to put stuff in the movies. One of the ones that people get really confused about is why there's sex content in the Disney movies. Why there's on the front of Little Mermaid, there's the phalanx, is what they call it. Cock is a penis on the Little Mermaid. So if you get the VHS cover, one of the golden kind of towers in Little Mermaid is a penis, right? And why do they spell sex in the clouds sometimes if you go to NASA? Why did they have like porn in the back of, I think it might have been the Musketeers or the Rescuers Down Under. One of the Disney movies with the mice that they would do had like some porn in the background, stuff like that. People would have to wonder, like, why did they do that? That's really, really weird. They do all kinds of different stuff that the public have no idea that they're doing. They try to do it subliminally. Maybe they do it to excite people. Maybe they do it to try to get kids to be sexually active at younger ages, which gets them to later on, makes it so that it's harder for them to pair bond with somebody long term. And they kind of jump from relationship to relationship. I believe there's a commonality there. The sooner someone becomes sexually active, the less likely they are to be in a long-term pair bonded marriage or relationship, what have you. So yeah. So there's reasons for it all. You've got, the Wizard of Oz. You've got psychologists behind the curtain working on all this stuff, trying to figure out what they do to steer society the right way they want it to go. And so they do that. But it's not in everything. It's not in every single show. Like Walking Dead is kind of like, that's its own thing based on a comic, which was independent. It's not, I don't think it's connected with anybody or anything. I think Kirkman's just some regular guy. Just like anybody else. Profane, probably. Just regular person, whatever. Nothing like too amazing or anything. Okay, let's see. What else did you guys say here? Multi-awesome person says NPCs equals deep. Well, deep state. Well, they could be used by the deep state because they don't know anything that's going on, right? So, Danny Ray says, Trev, would you get in a spaceship that says they're going to outer space? No, because they would kill me, right? It's like, no, because I know you can't go there. So obviously they're doing something else. So it's quite obvious at that point. So no, I would not go at all, because then you're going to put your life in their hands. That's not a good. Generally, they don't have the best track record. Okay, with being like with people like me being safe around people like that. No, that's a very, very bad idea. Okay, Myrtle says, yeah, there's some stupid people. I'd say they're NPCs. My class had an NPC in my final year of high school. Well, yeah, it depends how you want to look at it. Okay, where else do we go? All right, let's see. Flat Stuff Earth has joined, so he said, okay, I guess we will do some Flat Earth stuff tonight, guys. Why not? It's too fun. It's too much fun. Everybody wants to do it. It's too much fun. That's why. Compass shown, and then Flat Earth map shown in iRobot the movie. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a Flat Earth map shown in iRobot the movie. That's cool. Was just wondering was just watching a DVD before, saw you on. Oh, that's cool, man. Well, I just think it's cool. Like, what people don't know flat is like if the Axis had won World War II, everybody would think the Earth is flat. And I just think that's so cool. Like, if you think about it, and you just sit there and you say, if the Axis won, and there was no UN and there was no UNESCO, everybody would still think it's flat. They would be taught it was. They would think it is. It would be the same. Unless the Axis decided to do the same stuff that NASA ended up doing, and Von Braun was Axis. He was a Nazi. So and he ran NASA to start, right? So if the Axis had won, I don't think they would have done the same. I don't think they would have done the outer space stuff and all that. I think they would have they seemed like they were more honest about the way they were doing things than the Allies actually are. The Allies use so much deception in everything they do. And it's a tactic, it's a military tactic, but if the Axis had won, everybody would be taught the Earth's flat. Yeah, which is very, that'd be like see, that'd be another realm, right? That'd be like a different reality where it's like, imagine if they won and the world would be very different. In some ways, it'd probably be worse, in some ways, right? But in other ways, maybe better. As far as our understanding of the earth and where you are, what you are, all that stuff, they'd have thrown out Darwinism. They'd have thrown all that shit out. They'd have been like, you're not teaching that. That is crap. We know what you're doing. Get out of here with that crap. They'd have gotten rid of it all. They'd have restored it back, I think, to what it was before. So it's just funny the way truth is created, right, in the minds of the people. Truth is created based on authority. Truth is created based on might is right, based on who's in the position to tell the people what to teach. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from like some magical, mysterious, force or something that just allows truth to be, given to people. It comes from whoever's in charge of the education system. It comes from the people that decide, tell them this or tell them that. And if we want to get them off of what's real, we have to tell them that in order to mold them in the way we want them to go. So it's just very interesting to me that if they would have won, everybody would be flat earthers right now. Everyone would be flat earthers right now. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Or at least most people. I don't see why you would have any reason not to. If the Allies were defeated, you wouldn't have all that stuff. So you'd have to erase it all. So the architecture in the minds of people, the building blocks of thought, the files downloaded to the operating system of the minds of the people would be erased. They wouldn't be there. So you would have the same type of mental processes, the same type of thinking that you had, 200 years ago or so, when people were like taught in schools that, yeah, this is what it was, this is what it is, this is where you are, everything like that. No, you can't go there, and that's a limit and everything, and that's what that's what it would be. But no, we get totally the other way around universe. We get totally bizarre world. That's what we get, right? All right, what else did you guys say? And maybe we'll wrap up soon. This is going longer than I thought it was going to. So Henry says, flat Earth has plot holes. To be honest, a spherical Earth can explain all the things we can see. No, it doesn't, Henry. You're wrong. You seem to believe the Earth is the same as a video game. Yeah, it is. Map like Minecraft. It is. Yeah, Henry, it is. The Earth is basically a realm that you could create just like you could create in a video game. Yeah, and it doesn't move or anything else. It's still. It's it doesn't revolve around the sun. The sun does revolve around us. It does revolve around illuminating us. So does the moon. And so yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, and I know both, by the way. I don't think you know both. So, 32 just said it. So, guys, 32, Son of the Light Mason just said. He said that, check the UN's flag. And I know, because the UN is the New World Order. That's why. The UN is the New World Order. That's what it is. And so, it's a Masonic New World Order. And in that New World Order, you are not allowed to be taught flat Earth in school. You are not allowed to know them both. You have to think that this is real. And that's just, hey, it's cool, man. It's what they do. It's fine. I understand. Ruling's not easy. Deciding which way to go is not easy. And so that's what they chose to do politically in order to, like the protocols say, affect the minds of the Goyim or affect the minds of the people. That's what they did. So that's fine. I understand what they did now. I see it all the way through. And these were decisions that they made to do. That's what they decided to go with. That's what it is. But then you have basically, so how many people would actually know the truth about it is like, 5%, probably less than 5%, right? Like just a few percent. And you would mislead the masses. You would mislead everybody on purpose at the youngest age you could. So the roots go down all the way to the bottom and you can't pull them out. And so I understand that too. You can't pull them out. They're set down too far in the mind. The building blocks are all the way down at the bottom, so you can't get them out. They're all the way down. So when you see, the thing is when you're taught something when you're 5 or 6 or 7, it's so far down in your mind that to pull it out, it's like, if you guys ever taken a tree out of your yard or you've taken, like a big weed, right? The longer you give a weed to grow, the more of a pain in the ass it is to get rid of it. So if you plant if a weed starts growing, 30 years ago, and then you see it, 30 years later, it'll look like a tree. It'll be so big, depending on what kind of weed it is. It could look like a tree. Huge, right? And just probably be dead by that point, but just go with me what I'm saying here. It'll be ugly. You try to remove it, the roots go down real far. You can't get it out because it's been in there so long. It's so set in at such a young age that people don't realize that, hey, this is actually not true. Yeah. It's like, wow, it's not? Okay. All right. It's hard to get it out. You can't get it out. So that's what it is. Thanks, Power Green, for the tip there. Super chat of $1. Thank you very much. And so what else did you guys say? And, okay. Whenever we end up, whatever fashion, I hope it's better than this existence, says Bird. I'm sure that there's probably other, realms and in an afterlife that your soul will probably go to, you'll incarnate to, or you'll go to after, that's better than this realm. I think that there's probably different ones you could go to, but if you're eternal, you're going to get really bored, so you're going to want to go through different, different games. You're going to play different games, right? You're going to go into different games that you play over maybe 100 years max per game, or 50 years max, or whatever. You go and you play, and then you leave, and then you go play a different one or something. You do something like that, right? We even do it in regular life. We play this game for a while. We just say, all right, I play this for a little while. Now I'll go play this one. Something different over here, right? And that's what we do. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Why do you think World Beyond sucks, says GJ? Well, I don't know. I think it's kind of obvious. Probably, well, mainly it's the survivors I don't like that much from World Beyond. That's mainly the thing. Yeah, okay. Flat Stuffer said, walkers outside, at least they have masks on. They walk slow, like in the later seasons. Yeah, that's true. And they socially distance as well, so that's fun. Socially distanced zombies. How scared would you be on strict socially distanced zombies if they were going to eat you, but they couldn't come within 6 feet of you, so they would just like give you a look with a mask on, and kind of like this, but then they'd look and see 6 feet, and they say, okay, I'm not allowed 6 feet. Okay, I'm not. All right. But I can't. But then you can't see the teeth because it's behind a mask, and there's 6 feet in between you. So, yeah, it's not as scary than as Walking Dead is, right? Okay. Yeah, that's right, Blitz. Blitz said to Henry that there actually are no plot holes, or there are no holes in it. The holes are in the spherical model, right? The holes are in Okay, so the thing is heliocentrism is just Darwinism. It's the same thing. Heliocentrism is an extension of Darwinism because Darwinism came first. Remember, so they kind of they did revisionist history as far as I'm concerned. They took an understanding that everybody had, and they rewrote it. But it took a couple generations to kick in. And it wasn't until like a generation or 2 generations after, until people were like, oh, wow. And really until probably the 70s, 1970s, with really von Braun, right? With that Nazi bastard. So with NASA. So it wasn't really until then that I think people were like, oh, it is, right? And then they saw it and everybody celebrated because they thought it was like the greatest thing ever. I like when he's on, who is it? Is it Nixon or somebody that's on like a phone call? He's got like a bat phone. He like picks up a phone and he's like talking to the astronauts like on the moon. So how far away are they in terms of the bounce? You're talking to somebody who's 237,000 miles away, and you're talking to them on like a landline. Or you're like, hello, Mr. It's like, hello, Mr. President. It's like, hello. It's like, what is this, a Batman episode? They did that. They actually did that. You can watch the footage. They actually did that. It's like, dude, how far? So 237 is like, back and forth. It's like 500,000 if you can both ways. Oh man. Okay. 237 each way. It's like, oh my God. And they're like, he's like on a landline phone. Like what? Like those didn't even work when I would call somebody who lived like 3 blocks away all the time. Half the time those didn't even work when we were like a few streets away. And I'd be like, can you call me back? It's like, yeah, the connection's no good. You hang up, call him back again. It's like 237,000. We couldn't even really get those things to work from like, or like a province away in Canada. You call somebody a different province, it wouldn't even work. Anyway, that's the Bell stuff, right? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's funny too, 32nd, the way you said that if you look at the UN's flag, yeah, they put it right in the flag. It's really cool, man. It's like they put it right there. So it's sort of like in terms of responsibility, they're kind of giving it to you. Like they're telling you both, but the one that they're teaching you officially in schools, the other one they're giving to you, but they're doing it in a way where it's like right in front of you so you can see it. But because there's cognitive dissonance, people are not going to get it. But maybe they feel like they've gotten the onus off themselves because they put it right there for you to figure it out. So it's right there if you want to actually look and actually take it to task. They just know that nobody's going to do that, right? So that's what they do. That's why they used it for the UN flag. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Elvis, I don't believe to what NASA FX experts put on Twitter either. But problems with surface rotating is connected to rotation velocity, and they're not doing any of this stuff. I'm telling you, it's all theoretical. They're not actually doing any of it as far as I'm concerned. And size of the surface, okay, the amount of math they probably actually do is very limited. It all has to do with here. It has to do with stuff that we have to deal with right here. And there's still things involved like temperatures, just physical things when they're launching, everything like that. So, but yeah, as far as like going from this spinning thing 237,000 miles over here, and then somehow going down in some piece of shit lander that looks like garbage, and like blasting down on this other spinning thing that's also rotating, also moving, and then going back and connecting back again together, and then going all the way back. Yeah, this is science fiction. That's what this is. This is sci-fi. This is Star Trek Shatner shit. That's what there is. That's why when somebody asked Shatner, what's the difference? He said there is no difference between doing it in like, a Star Trek or science fiction and doing it in real life. He said they're the same. And people don't understand what he meant by that, but he means they're the same. They're actually the same. Like, we were just making it up. It's like, all right, okay, fair enough. All right. What else do you say here, guys? You notice the comment asking you, what if vid wipes out a population of people on Earth somewhat similar to that's Tyler Jefferson asked it. So what if we see an actual apocalypse in real life in the next 5 or 10 years, like in Walking Dead? Yeah, you won't have zombies walking around, but you might have something like that, actually. And what are the percentages? I want to say low, but maybe they're not that low as I want to say they are. I want to say, yeah, I've seen all those Traveling as Freedom. I've seen all that. I'd say that Professor Dave is probably a Zio. He seems like a Zio to me. Either a Zio or he could be a Mason. One of the two. And I'm not kidding about that. He looks like a Zio to me. But I've seen all Professor Dave stuff. He's just wrong. That's all I'm saying. He's completely, totally wrong. Okay, and I think he knows that too. In fact, I'm sure he knows that he's just effing with you and effing with everybody. I'm sure he knows it too. Evil, but he probably gets paid real well, so people will do it for pay. Okay, they'll do evil shit for pay, even though they know it's wrong, and he shouldn't be doing that because I'm sure he knows what he's doing is wrong. But he's doing it anyway just because, well, that's, you get a good paycheck, right? So it's what it is. All right, so, yeah, the comment you said there, Tyler Jefferson, about the possibility of a huge reduction. Unfortunately, I really hope we don't see that. I hope we don't see, like, a huge, huge reduction. But might we see it? We might see it, man. I really hope not. I pray. That's all you can do, right? Is you just pray that you don't, right? You pray that you don't see that huge reduction. So, yeah, I pray and I hope that we don't in the next 5 or 10 years. I don't think it's going to happen like in the next 6 months or something. I'm looking at like 2025, 2030, those type of time frames that I would be more concerned about, like thinking, are we going to see a huge reduction? And I hope we don't because, I do like people and, I kind of like the way it is now. But is it sustainable? Maybe it's not sustainable with the amount of people we have. Maybe not. Maybe it's not in balance with nature. So that's what it is. So what are the percentages? I don't know how you could even do a probability there. I don't know. What's the probability you'd say that we could see a huge reduction in the next 5 or 10 years? Could you say 10%, 20%, 30%? I don't know. Could you say 40% maybe 50%? I don't know. I don't know, man. It depends. Depends how much research you've done into that one as well, too. There's a lot there, though. I'll say that. There is a lot there to look at for reduction. I hope we don't see it. And maybe 10%, 20% chance, and that's it. But yeah, I just pray. That's all you can do at that point. You just pray. So travel. So go to watch all Professor Dave's stuff, and I say watch it. Watch all his stuff, and then watch all of, I'd say, David, guys like David Weiss. Watch Eric's stuff. Buy some books. Maybe buy a camera if you want to. If you want to buy a P900, buy a P900 if you want to. If you really want to get into it, that's going to be, you have to put some money into it if you really want to know. But that's up to you. But yeah, I'd say do that and go through all that, and then see what you think after you've done all that. Because I've seen all his stuff, and I just think he's he's a propagandist basically. In fact, I'm sure he is. I also like his background too. I like some of the stuff he's got in his background. It's pretty cool. He'll know what I mean by that. Because I see some stuff there, I'm like, okay, I get I see who you're with, man. That's cool. I see it. No problem. It's cool. I just wonder how much they're paying you. That's all. Malty says one of the nukes from Fear the Walking Dead should have been targeted at the World Beyond. Yeah, just blew up the other show, right? Malty just blew up World Beyond. Diana, so are you comparing Earth to video games? Yeah, you should be. Because video games are just like a subsystem that we've created. It's just like a sub reality that we've created that we do for entertainment. But in terms of our reality, if it's a created system, if it's a created reality, then you're going to have considerations that are aligned in terms of design. So in terms of principles, and in terms of design, like having an infinite rendered space or having a finite limit to a system, these are, from a designer perspective, these are things that you're going to consider. If you're going to make a game, do you have an end to the level where players can't go that far? Do you close it off, and how do you do that? Do you do it with a fence? Do you do it with, that's a small micro system. If you're doing a Resident Evil, somebody brought up Resident Evil before. If you're playing Resident Evil 2, the levels have a limit, and then when you get to the next phase, you load the next level. See, each place you go to has to be loaded into your hardware. So each place has to be rendered, has to be loaded up in the game and then shown to the player. So that's why you have to have kind of a finite limit to your system. If you have a truly infinite system, then all that typically means is that it's loading as you go. So it's rendering further parts as you go out there, right? Other levels and other spots as you go there, or planets. If you're playing like an outer space game where you go to different planets, it's going to load as you're going. So you need pretty powerful hardware to be able to do that. And the higher the resolution, the harder it is for the hardware to keep up. So that's why you have loading when you play a video game. All that, if you're playing Resident Evil, it's loading the map typically. It's loading all the different objects and everything that's in the map as you go to the next level. You start the level has a limit. It's not infinite. It has a limit to how far you can go in the level. So I'm saying our system has limits too, just in the same way. From a design perspective, from a design principle, I'm saying that our system that we live in has limits. And if it has limits, it's designed. So that's where I would go with that. Yeah. So yes, I'm comparing it to design, Diana. I'm comparing it to design and using video games as a good example of a subsystem that is designed. Okay, let's see. I understand he might be very good there, Henry, at convincing you or confusing you. That might be what he's actually trying to do. And I'm just telling you I believe that's what he's doing. And I do genuinely think that that's what he's doing. Because I think he probably knows for himself as well, too. So be very careful who you trust, to all you guys. Be very careful who you trust, including me. But I don't have an agenda to sell you or anything. I'm not getting a check here to tell you this stuff. Be very careful who you trust. And sometimes the people you think are the best are controlled opposition, are not people you should be trusting. They're matrix agents in place. Agent Smith. And Agent Smith, looks pretty good. Agent Smith's got a nice haircut. He's got the glasses. He's got the suit and everything like that. So be very, very careful. Huma Kavula says there is, and that boundary is the nature of human senses. You simply can't comprehend infinite dimensions, therefore geocentrism makes sense. Well, yeah, well, you wouldn't, if you're going to create a system, you probably wouldn't make it infinite because, that would just be, I don't know, it wouldn't be a good design, I think. If you're going to design something yourself, if I was designing a system, I wouldn't say, let me make it infinite just because and have everything out here be just empty space or something. Like, I don't think you would do that. You would set a limit to it. It would make it more of an efficient design to load. It would make it more efficient. It would reduce glitching. It would reduce problems, corruption in the system. You just wouldn't have infinite empty space for no reason. You would put things in there with intent, for a reason mostly. Now, you can look at some things in nature that are kind of evil. Like if you want to think in terms of evil, parasites are about as evil as you can get. I mean, you look at a parasite; it literally lives off of other beings, right? It's a vampire. Parasites will get into another living being or organism, will drain it, will live off of them. So definitely, our system has evil built into it as well too. You just look at a parasite or something like that, and how evil in terms of nature that is to even have something, or a mosquito. Like who the hell would design? Why do we have to have mosquitoes? Can we just not have mosquitoes in the system? So we do have things in the system that are kind of like, I can't think of anything that's probably more evil than a mosquito, right? It's like it's like, what a pain in the ass. Okay, why would we put these here? We just not have these here. Maybe they do serve a purpose of some kind. I don't know. Maybe they're food for something. I don't know. Okay, let's see. But I personally believe in the scientific consensus about this stuff. Well, remember, Wenson, that it depends what you mean by science. See, science should never really have a consensus because science is supposed to be about open debate, testing, experimentation, coming up with a hypothesis, testing out. It should never be finished. Science should never be done. The idea that science is finished is an inversion. It is the opposite of science. Science should never be done. It should never be authoritarian. That's not what science is. I have a Bachelor of Science. Science is not about authoritarianism. Science is about open debate. It is about being allowed to talk about things. It is about being allowed to challenge and say, I hear your theory, Einstein or whoever, whatever. Then that's even what Einstein did too. And I just thought he was a good guy. I didn't know he was a bad guy, right? It's like once you figure out what they did with him, you see he's a bad guy. But, science should be about challenging things. So to say that flat Earth is not scientific, no, it is scientific. That's exactly what it is. Flat Earth is scientific because what you're saying is, I see what you're doing, NASA. I like your CG. It's not that impressive, okay? I've got something for you here. I've tested your curvature. I've done some laser tests. And guess what? I don't see any. So either you're effing lying or you got something wrong or I got something wrong. Let's talk about it. It's not about deplatforming. That's not scientific. Deplatforming, propaganda, deleting people, and producing your own opposite to muddy the waters or to right-think authoritarian scientism into people, that is not science. So I am for science. Flat Earth is scientific. To say that you think this is a lie, you guys lied, I know you did, and we're going to show that you did, okay? That is scientific. That is science, all right? Scientism, Fauci coming out and saying, I am science. No, you're not science, Fauci, and these guys are not science. You are propagandists. You are authoritarian people who are telling people what to think and not allowing other doctors to give their own opinions and to talk openly. That's not science. That's the inversion of science. That is authoritarianism. That is scientism with a capital S. That is communism. That is authoritarian. You are not allowed to do experiments. You are not allowed to check my theories and my math. You are not allowed to question what I'm telling you. You are not allowed to do any of that. You have to listen to what I'm telling you. You are not allowed to disagree. You're not allowed to check my proofs. You're not allowed to check my experiments and see what I did. You're not allowed to do your own. You're not allowed to think for yourself. That is, no part of that is science. So to say that sphere Earth is science, I'd actually say no. That's scientism. That's authoritarian NASA. You have to think the way I tell you to think. You are not allowed to do your own experiments because we said so. That's authoritarianism. That is not science. That is not scientific. So if you say that I don't want to learn about geocentrism because I like heliocentrism for whatever reason, that's fine. That's up to you. You do whatever you want, right? It's your choice. Your thoughts, your own private property. You do what you want. You think what you want. But I won't sit here and have you say that that's science to tell everybody you have to go this way. If you don't think you're a monkey, you're a monkey, okay? And you're not allowed to consider otherwise. That is not scientific. And we say, okay, what are your proofs for that? What are the experiments? Well, what can you show me? Well, it's over such long periods of time. We can show you a fossil record. We might have made up a bunch of shit here. We might have done a bunch of shit there. But we can show you all this stuff. But the amount of time it takes is so long that, I just can't show you that proof there. Okay, so you know what? If I want to disagree with you, that is scientific, and I'm sorry to tell you, but it is. So that's the difference there, as far as I'm concerned. Now, science fiction is very tricky because you bring in science fiction to reinforce, I would say, some beliefs that are taught out, which are false, which are not true. And that's kind of the purpose of it, or to predictively program people to get them started for what you're going to do. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Multi Awesome said, NASA unlocked an expansion pack of our reality. Right. Yeah, that's right. They did, Multi. It's an expansion pack. That's right. It just happens to not be true. That's all. So, yeah, hey, you do it how you do it, right? If you get it done, you get it done. It's the same thing as anything else, right? It's like if someone tells you to do something that you can't possibly do, you have a choice to make. You can say, you know what, I'm going to go back and tell the boss we can't do it, right? Or you say, you know what if we just what if we fib it, right? What if we fix the numbers, right? We couldn't do it, but what if we fix it? Will they figure it out? Well, let's make sure they don't figure it out. It's pretty much what it comes down to, right? You can tell the boss, hey, we can't do it, or you can make it happen any way possible. Machiavelli, any means necessary. You just make it happen however you do. Okay, that's fine. That's what it is. That's science, man. I think that's what science is supposed to mean, right? Yeah, you tell me everything I'm supposed to think, and I'm not allowed to question it, and that's science, right? Right, yeah. Yeah, all these formulas, and if the formula doesn't work, and I test it and I proof it, I do the math and I proof it, and I say, you know what? Your formula's bunk. Okay, maybe your formula's perfect, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So maybe you're saying, okay, it works all the time. Okay, that one I agree with, you're good. But can I test it and at least check it? Yeah, you can check it. But these over here, you're not allowed to check because I said so. Yeah, okay, that's scientific. Sure, okay, cool. All right, so let's see. All right. Yeah, they want to send garbage into outer space. Yeah, I know about that one. NASA, okay, all right, let's see what else. There's probably a whole bunch of comments here since I was ranting. Okay, Freddie M said that, yep, Fear the Walking Dead is out now, so that's great. Multi-awesome person said it was only 99 cents. What was only 99 cents? All right, so how do you think the realm was created then? Yeah, it would have been created by a grand architect. It would have been created by a creator. Because it's of intelligent design, and you can see that it is, and it has limits to the system. So if it has limits to the system, it's a design system. You're in a design system. And we, by the way, will be able to design some awesome systems. Give us some time. Give us like 1,000 years, and we'll be able to create the most immersive, the most amazing system. Just imagine what you would think of as a video game. Just imagine what kind of sub-realities we're going to be able to create in 1,000 years with like the most powerful computers you can possibly imagine, rendering the most amazing stuff ever. It's going to be, maybe it'll be really cool for those of us who are still around in 1,000 years. Our offspring, that is. Okay, let's see. all right. Tyler wants movie reactions on YouTube when you have time to do that. Well, if we have time, yeah, maybe we could do that. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. Quantum randomness. Yeah. Okay. What else did we get here? So, sorry guys, I missed a bunch of your stuff while I was ranting. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to pick up where we left off here, guys. Let's see what you guys. Oh, we should probably wrap soon. I might have to remove this one later. Let's see. Okay. All right. Oh, traveling is freedom. Say, can you imagine how bad the world smells in The Walking Dead? Yeah, I bet you it's pretty bad. That's true, right? So, yeah. All right. Traveling is freedom. Do they create different backgrounds in the firmament depending where on Earth we are? I don't think so. No, I think it's mostly the same. But it'll look different. Perspective will be different depending on where you are. But what's there should be there pretty much from almost any different angle. Okay, let's see. Got to start prepping, Josh. Yeah, I think it's a good. Honestly, Josh, I think it's a good idea at this point. I would at least a little bit. At least have at least a few months' supply of food. I think you can get weight gainer and stuff pretty cheap, and it can last a while, like high calorie weight gainer, just in case you need it. But it's not a bad idea, man. Considering what's been going on the last few years, it's probably a good idea. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Diana says the UN is the CRM. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Yeah, Christopher, Isaiah, how you doing? Okay, I think that's all of those. I get all those. Am I religious though, Blitz? Well, a little. Yeah, we kind of are in terms of value and everything. Yeah, we have mostly our values are mostly Christian based, but yeah. So let's see what else we got here from you guys. Okay, I think I got all those. I think that's that. Tyler said, what would a movie be like if Christopher Nolan directed a horror movie? That would be so cool, man, because he does a great job. I like his a lot of his different movies and stuff. Dark Knight's amazing, of course. So, yeah. I think my voice is starting to go. Activision, yeah. Okay. So I don't think there's an edge, Diana. No. There is no edge. And if there was, all the water would drain out, right, too, as well. There isn't an edge, no. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, well, Wenson, the evidence is out there. Go watch David Weiss's stuff for a while. Spend 10 hours, 20 hours looking at it, and you'll see all kinds of evidence for it, yeah. But you got to hear it all the way through first. Go through it all first and then see what you think. And take your time with it. Maybe do some curvature math and look at some zoom footage and see. That's one of the best ways to figure it out that, okay, this is not correct, yeah. Okay. San Andreas, no, I have not seen that. Was he seriously doing that? I have not seen that one, no. Okay, let's see. Yeah. I'm just trying to, like, we kind of are going all over the place here. It was Walking Dead originally. So and I kind of wanted to stay Walking Dead because people get really mad about these types of topics, for sure. So, okay, let's see. So Multi-Awesome says, is my daughter real or just part of the video game? So that's like solipsism, right? Is what you're talking about there. So the kind of the idea that, like with NPCs, the idea that some people are real and some people aren't, or how do you know everybody's real? How do you know some people aren't bots? I don't know. Is it an IQ thing? Like, could you say that anybody who has an IQ less than 80 is like a bot or something? Something like that. Like any grown person, not kids. I mean, like grown-ups. I don't know. That's up to you. No, I'm not really, I don't claim to know anything as far as that goes, but it's an interesting idea that maybe some people that are in the system are Agent Smiths or are, NPCs, non-player characters. They're just bots walking around, just kind of doing what they're doing, whatever. Okay, let's see. Oh, XNet says, I just finished watching Fear the Walking Dead. It wasn't bad, but I was a bit underwhelmed. Yeah, I'm going to watch it soon and do the review soon. So, yeah. So, Project Nerdvana, what's up, man? How you doing? Travis Freedom, my only question is, who do you talk to in order to start getting paid? All those people. You have to be one. You have to be one. Your parents, typically. Yeah, you don't. joining is not really a thing so much. You have to be born into it. Like you'd ask, like, is Zuckerberg, got a bug in here? Is Zuckerberg, for example, we used earlier, for example, was he chosen for some other reason, or was he chosen because of his lineage? Usually it's their lineage. That's why. Usually it's the family you come from. That's how you're chosen for it. You're already in it to begin with, and then they use you for a purpose because you like it for some reason. Yeah, so that's usually how it works. That's how it works with a lot of different high-profile people. It's because of their family background. It's because of their heritage. That's why, bloodlines and such. Okay, the Borg says I'm Zayden Alt. Well, good, Bird. I'm glad you have a hard time trusting anything. That's good. Stay with that. Now you'll be able to make progress because you'll be questioning everything. That's a good way to go. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to find some useful comments. I don't want to read like all your guys' comments. Okay, that's a good one. Clashers World said, "Do you think that there's actually more land in Earth that they're hiding for themselves?" The Admiral Byrd idea that there is more land. There probably are sections of land. I don't know how big they are, but there are sections of land, I'm sure, that the super elite keep to themselves. And, they do like there's some that are, like, you got Virgin Islands, places like this. Some of them will buy islands. Some of them will buy different places, like some of the super elite. I'm thinking like Branson, is he the one, does he own a couple, who's like Epstein, right? He had his spot and stuff. So they have, some of the really top people own tremendous amounts of land, and it's not even necessarily, hidden land. I'm sure there probably is. Yeah, there probably is certain spots where they're like, okay, so suppose everything went to shit for the super elite. I'm sure they would have locations they could go to that are off the books. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Now, are they on our maps or not? How big would they be? How big would they need to be? They probably don't need to be that big, but they probably have a bunch that are just not really used by people. Like, they keep people in different sections, and there's probably a few spots they have, different islands and different places where, they have it to where nobody else really even knows it's there. And if you look at like flight patterns and stuff that are, wouldn't be within a shot of it, wouldn't be so that people could see it. There's probably some hidden territory. How much and how big, don't know. But the idea that there's kind of some like beyond Antarctica, that type of idea, like Admiral Byrd type of thing, where he said that he saw a whole bunch. Well, there probably is other, but I don't know if it would beyond like the ice barrier beyond Antarctica further out, if there would be other spots that are further out beyond that part. I think probably not, because it would probably get colder and colder and colder as you go. So I would tend to think probably not, but there probably are other spots. They might be pretty cold, or they might not be that nice. But, they've got their islands that are really nice too, a lot of the really elite people. So, but the idea that there's other spots that they own, basically, or they have, that none of the regular people have any idea about. I'm sure they have. If things really got bad in certain locations, I'm sure they have places where they could go that you would never find them in a lifetime, or a few lifetimes maybe. Yeah, I think there would be, yeah. So, is there, like, I think you're asking like the Admiral Byrd idea that there's land beyond Antarctica. I don't know. I don't know how you could say like places that are totally pretty much empty that they pretty much own and nobody's allowed to go. There's probably at least one or two. Now, how big they are, you'd have to question it. But I'm sure they probably do have spots they could go if things got really bad for whatever reason. If something really bad happened, something totally unexpected, like let's say China became even more powerful. I'm sure this will never happen, but say China became even more powerful and had their own breakaway regime and started taking over everything and bombing everything else, just became like overnight totally crazy and just went after everything. And they had to kind of get to safety. I'm sure they would have spots they could go to that nobody would be aware of. Yeah. Okay, so what else did we get here? Yeah, Protoss said, spiders eat mosquitoes. We need them, right? I guess so. Hey, Leslie Tanashi, how are you doing? Just Training Video says assimilation and has a picture of a zombie. I like it. That's good. All right, let's see. Okay. Yep. That's right, Blitz. I agree with that one. Never too late to research more, learn more, and change your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. Energy vampires are the worst, says Project Nirvana. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Just checking to see. Yeah, but aside from that, Clasher, as far as Admiral Byrd goes, I don't have too strong opinions on that. I don't think there's any way you could really know. Maybe you could research it more and go into everything he said and see what makes sense to you or not. It's kind of interesting stuff, but I don't put too much thought into it. I'm just sure that there's spots that are there that are probably not accessible to anybody except for the top of the top. Okay, yeah, I know who Admiral Byrd is. I know what you're talking about. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he saw an inlet of some kind, massive green land. Yeah, something like that, Bird. Which fair enough. I mean, maybe there is a couple spots or something like that. But would they be livable is hard to say. Could he been doing some kind of disinformation or something like that, which is so common for us nowadays to see? It's also possible. So I don't know. You can look up that yourself. There's no right or wrong answer for that. I think you could actually just go through that and see what you think. So, yeah, hidden places. Well, there probably are some. Yeah, but I don't know how big they would be and what it is. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh, Wenson says there are actually some sunken continents or parts of continents. There's Zealandia and Greater Icelandia. So places that have kind of gone under. Yeah, that's. I'm sure there are a few throughout history as well too. If it's true, right? You have to kind of gather your thoughts on that. Brett Werner, the rapture will be here before that, I hope. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty far behind in the comments now, Blitz. You guys sent through too many. I can't keep up. Okay, we're almost at 2 hours. So well, I won't remove it unless I have to, Protoss. So we'll see. I'd like to leave it. I have fun doing this with you guys. It is a lot of fun. And I don't have an agenda either way. I don't really care what you guys think or what you want to get into. That's up to you. Who's your favorite character in Fear the Walking Dead? Says Tyler. At this point, I don't know. Morgan or Alicia, one of the two. I guess both of them at this point. Yeah. Strand is pretty good as villain, though. I'm excited to see Villain Strand this season. That's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. Brett Warner said someone exposed Australia for staging some of those, right? Yeah, some of them are fake. I know, yeah. Well, they do that all around the world. They have fake, they stage fake events, fake riots, and they use it for the news. I know. It's crazy. They do that shit, man. We won't mention any specific ones because that's a good way to get deplatformed, but there's a lot of events that are in the news that people think are legit, and they're acted out by intelligence agencies like some kind of movie or something. And they actually do that. They actually set up these with different actors and such, and they go through and do these big things. But you can't mention it because they'll just deplatform you. They'll be like, "I was real," and they'll like double down on it forever. Like you could find one that's clearly fake, and they just double down forever. They're like, you said it wasn't. And we got these people, and then they get like the actors like come back for another performance, right? And they like cry and stuff. You said, yeah, it's like, yeah, but there are, and I'm not saying any particular one is or isn't. I'm just saying that yes, you're right, Brett. That's true. There are some events that people think are absolutely real. And they're totally Hollywood, Planet Hollywood, absolutely. Okay, let's see. What else did you guys say here? All right. Anyone see Future Man, Bird? I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't seen that. Okay, Halloween 20 just came out. Spoiler alert. Okay, well, I haven't. Yeah, Chris Butterackle says, spoiler alert. Mike Myers escapes and kills more people. It's like, yeah. That's spoilers, right? So, Blitz Gamer says, Agent Smith is one of the best villains of all time. He's a great one. I do agree. The Matrix rules. I'm excited for Matrix 4. That's going to be good. So, yeah. Let's see. Red Lotus says, Bermuda Triangle. Yep. Okay, let's see what else you guys say. Microgravity is a hoax. Well, I don't know. If you're in a realm, up is up, down is down, left is left, and right is right. So you can set it out. You can call it whatever you want. Gravity is just for heliocentrism. That's the purpose of it. It just works with heliocentrism to make you think you're on a sphere. But then you get a zoom camera and you're like, that's weird. Yeah, it doesn't look like a sphere, right? There should be a drop off. Where's the drop off? There isn't one. Okay, that's not right. All right, so Yeah, Flat Stuff Verse said Admiral Byrd said there is land at the North Pole. Okay, well, yeah, is that what? Well, wherever, whether or not he was, whether or not he was actually, telling the truth or not, that's up to you. You can look. I haven't spent too much time looking through it. I just heard it in passing reference. That's basically it. Blitz says, I don't know why people are surprised that space is fake. NASA has been admitted that their images of Earth are composites, all of them. Yeah. Yeah, I know. People, well, it's because so many years. The roots go down really far, Blitz. That's why. So even if people are starting to figure that out online, which it looks like a lot of you guys are, all across the internet and everywhere, people are really starting to catch on to that one. Well, I think what they're doing is they're switching it for Musk. Musk is going to be doing it in the future anyway. It won't be them anymore. They're going to switch it off. So, and I think Bart Sabrell's got a new book coming out. It's called Moon Man, I think, which looks pretty good. He claims to know where they filmed Apollo 11 in Moon Man, the book. He claims that he knows which where the military did it. He knows where the set was, the hangar, whatever they filmed it in for the moon stuff. And it's in his book, Moon Man. So if you want to check it out, I haven't read it yet. I haven't looked at it, but that's what he says. So you can go to Amazon.com and pick up Moon Man from Bart Sabrell. And I'm kind of excited to take a look at it. I'd like to know where they did it. So if he's gotten the word on where they filmed it, I'd like to know where it was. So maybe we'll take a look at that Moon Man. I don't know if I'll do a video on it or not because again, I don't want any trouble. So yeah, so yeah. Okay, well, I think we're close. We're past 2 hours now, dudes. So do I think Stanley Kubrick directed it? I think he consulted on it, Blitz, on just 11 though. After that, he may or may not have consulted that much. I think he consulted on it, yep, and I think he was involved with it, yep, because he was doing at that time 2001: A Space Odyssey, so he would have been doing that. There's pictures of him and information that he had consulted with NASA, and he was in the club basically. So he was in there, he was doing it. He would have at least been involved. At least was he like the key director for it? Maybe not. Doesn't really matter. But the fact of the matter is that he likely was involved with getting it set right and doing it. And if you watch it back now, like it's pretty obvious to see it's a work. Like for me anyway, I don't know. Maybe for you guys, you look at it, you think it looks real. But I'm telling you, the movies they make now, and like Gravity and the others, all the different movies that are made now in big budget movies and stuff, they look way better. If you look at like Apollo 11 and the others, man, they don't look good at all. They look like parts of them look like they use models for it. For like the lander and stuff like this. It looks like it's models being dropped and doing different things with models. It looks like a movie from the 60s. It looks like a movie from the 70s. Like they use models for it. I think the Russians might have used claymation for part of theirs. And it looks horrible if you watch it now. It's like, wow, this outer space shit is claymation for some reason. So they couldn't do it either. They made like the worst shit ever too. It looked even worse, It's like, wow. So, but yeah, if you want to look at that, that's an awesome thing to look through. A lot of fun. So I'm excited to get Bart Sabrell's book. I actually do want to buy it, Moon Man. And I want to check it out and see what he's got because there might be an air of truth to it that's undeniable. We'll see. I'll go through it. So, but yeah, Blitz, I think he probably did. He probably worked on it. Yep, at least some of it. Yep. Somebody had to do it. Like, they had to get somebody to do it. So, I think Bart Sabrell's also said that likely he was the best director in the world at the time. He was consulting on a movie almost like exactly similar to it. So why wouldn't you use him for it? You probably would. So, yeah. Yeah, I know, Flat Stuff, that Google also tailors their search results too, which is really crazy to think they do that. But yeah, they do. They really do. Okay, so yeah, Chris is talking about Shatner. Well, he's already been to space, Chris. Shatner's been to space since when did Star Trek start? When did his Star Trek run start from? Was that the 70s? Was that what? Well, I don't know. I don't watch Star Trek. I don't like Star Trek. He's been to space for the last 50 years, 40 years. What are you talking about? He's just going to space now. He's been in space forever. He's been in space since before I was born. He was in space before you were born, depending on how old you are, Chris. So what do you mean he's just going to space now? He's been in space forever. Because that's what space is. It's fiction. So, yeah. Okay. If someone could have faked it, it would have been Kubrick. Yeah, I agree. Well, they did. They did fake it, and he probably was involved. Yeah, probably. So, I am surprised they couldn't have done a better job on the lander, though. The lander looks really, really bad. I mean, oh my God. I think Eric did one recently on the lander, and I was like, oh, Jesus, yeah. I already knew because I already looked at it myself, but it's funny to hear other people like echo your thoughts on something. You know, you look at it, it's like, it looks like something made by grade school. It's like a grade 7 science project is what they made. Like, you know, a kid would come to school and he'd be like, look at what I got. And like, cause like maybe the what do they have on the back? It's like, it looks like the lander looks like poster board or something. And it's like folding and it's got like rivets in it and stuff. Like it's not flat. It's not straight, you know? So it's like, and I'm not like you know, I'm okay with my hands. I'm not awesome with my hands. Like I can do simple stuff. I could do probably like flooring and stuff like that. I could replace like a toilet or stuff like that. Simple stuff. But in terms of like you're building something, it's like, don't you think it should be like it should fit properly? It's got like folds in it and shit. It's like this is supposed to. Oh Jesus. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's me, right? Yeah, something's wrong with me. That's the problem. Right, exactly. Yeah, it's got like it looks like a grade 6 kid, a grade 7 kid, like somehow glued on the thing, and it's like not glued properly, so it's like folded. It's got like lumps in it and folds in it because it's, you know, like the poster hasn't been set right on their science project. Okay. Yeah, Winston says, generally women are more peaceful than men, I think. Yeah, they totally are. Psychologically, they're totally different than men. Yeah, men are like, and they're programmed to be that way on purpose. You know, their wants are totally different from men. Yeah, that's true. They are more peaceful, I think, mostly. Yeah. So as long as they're not trying to be macho, because if they're trying to like prove something, then they could be like more trigger happy. Like if Hillary became president, and instead of like T, and she was like, you know, bombing everybody and stuff. I don't know, because she might want to come across as like she can be really, you know, as you know, strong and stuff. So she might overdo it, sometimes overcompensate. But generally, by nature, that's true. Okay, let's see. Favorite horror movie of all time? Day of the Dead, maybe 28 Days Later. Yeah. HBK said, I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead now. I think Strain just became the best villain of the show. Yeah, I like your name too. HBK Hot Boy 713. That's funny. Yeah, I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan from the 90s, so it's good. And Stone Cold. I love the one of my favorites was Michaels and Steve Austin, Stone Cold. And then you had the referee was Tyson. That was awesome. Tyson and Austin. That's funny stuff. So I don't know. I still remember that. Oh, he's broken in half. Tyson and Austin. He punches him, and then he's like chewing gum when he's like on the floor. He's like, well, not on the floor, in the ring. And he's supposed to be knocked out, right? Because Tyson, maybe he was kind of knocked out. Tyson actually, it seemed like he connected pretty good, actually. So, yeah. All right. Let's see, guys. We got to wrap, man. We're going on 2 hours here, dudes. 2 hours. This might be my longest stream ever. Totally unprepared and didn't mean to do it at all. You guys think the center of the earth is hollow? I don't think there is a center of the earth really traveling. So no, I don't think it. Not only do I not think it's hollow, I don't think there is one. I think it only goes down so far, and that's basically it. And there's a cutoff point. Okay, let's see. Winston says that fourth wall breaking ending was unsettling. In which? Oh, do you mean in Fear? I haven't seen it yet. Or do you mean World Beyond? You don't mean that in the original Walking Dead. I don't think they've ever broken the fourth wall in the original Walking Dead series. Deadpool shit. I don't think so. Okay, let's see. Chris. That's good. Watch the first one and see what you think. Is that for World Beyond? Soon, actually, because I'm kind of loud. So she gets annoyed after a while. I talk too much and she gets upset at me. So she has to be quiet. Yeah. When are we going to see a makeup tutorial? Trev, Blitz, you want to do a makeup tutorial? What kind of makeup tutorial could we do? All right, so Flat Stuff Earth is going to check out. So he's added to the conversation. Pretty nice. He's flattened it out pretty good. Oh, Flat, look, I added a globe. Do you see that? It's like a dollar store one, but I added it. So, yeah, it's right there. Maybe I should put like this this thing on top of it. So it's like squishing, like a rolling pin, squishing the globe. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do you remember? Just got mad at you and accidentally... she gets mad at me all the time. What are you talking about, Blitz? The one time she got mad at me? It's like a daily occurrence, you know. So okay, anyway, all right. I think we need to wrap now, dudes. Center of the Earth is where Morales' house is. Yep, that's right. Red Lotus has got it. That's where Morales is at right now. I was talking about the movie Grave Encounters 2. Okay. All right, dudes. We're going to wrap. I'm going to watch Fear later. I'll do the review maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day soon. And I'll try to watch World Beyond soon. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. We had some fun, dudes. And I'll see you back soon. As always, this is Trev. And I'm saying peace. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you soon.